your calendars. The AZ Oktoberfest 2025 is happening 31st of October to November 2nd at the iconic Nitro compound in Maricopa, Arizona. This track is next level with huge elevation, massive jumps, and fast technical layouts that keep the action intense all weekend long. Add some night racing under the lights and perfect fall desert weather with temperatures from 70s to the low 80s, and you have the ultimate RC weekend. Classes include novice, sportsman, intermediate, pro, 40 plus, short course truck, and you have the open class. This is for any skill level as a second buggy class. And of course, they have a 16 and under class with their dedicated 16 and under final. Race and hang out with RC stars like Ryan Mayfield, Spencer Rivkin, Spencer Heckert, Camden Lime, and the Iceman, Mason Fuller. They have a massive raffle from all the sponsors that participated, live coverage by Mod Live Media. This is one race you don't want to miss. Follow the Nitro compound on Facebook and Instagram for more details, and get ready to send it at the AZ Oktoberfest.
Cow RC is your one-stop shop for all things RC car maintenance, carrying everything you need to keep your cars looking good and working well. From the basic chassis cleaner that doesn't dry out your plastics, to jet air blasters, no need to carry large and loud air compressors, to simple wipes to keep both your hands and bodies clean. That's just the surface though. Everything needed to keep your cars working smoothly and optimally while staying organized, like silicone spray, light grease coating, silicone bench mats, and the almighty Udder Butter are also staples of Cow RC's large selection of products. Be sure to use code NNRC to save 10% off your next purchase from cowrc.com.
Nitro is the glory, but E-Buggy pays the bills. Welcome to the No Name RC podcast. Get ready for some serious bench racing. But be warned, we speak our minds, express our thoughts, and sometimes things can get a little rowdy.
Hate, and he just was influenced by the hate coming from the left, the hate coming from the right.
And let's get back to more club racing and less of this grabbing races.
It's hard not to be arrogant when you're always right. You know?
See what I mean? That's exactly why people call you arrogant, Max.
You may not agree with everything we say, but it's definitely worth a listen.
And our pick, can you stop whatever you're doing?
Join your host, Lefty the Great, with co-hosts and guests as they get together to chat RC.
Hey, after that race that I watched this morning, I have to talk about it.
There we go. $100 right here, $100 throw. Oh no! I like this.
Yes, indeed. Nitro is the glory, but E-Buggy pays the bills. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another No Name RC podcast, World's Recap live show. Joining us is the man in the middle. We have to give him a little bit of a timeout, but he's back, and he's busy doing notes. Max is back, everybody. And of course, the parrot, Pekko, is joining us ever so. And good morning to everybody out there. Congratulations. 68 people. Come on, let's get this up to 200 today. We just had crowned a brand new two-wheel drive world champion, right? So we're going to talk all about that. But before we do that, I have to say thank you to everybody out there for the continued support. We are about 127 followers, subs away from 8,000 subs on YouTube. So please, if you are on Facebook, go on over to the YouTube, hit that sub like notification button. Also check out the poll we got going on over there. And we want to get the super chats because, Pekko is tired of eating Vegemite sandwiches. So we're trying to get him so he could go get some reindeer meat and some finished cheese made out of, I don't know, whale fat or whatever, whale blubber, and he can get going. Also, shout out to all of the YouTube members as well as the NNRC Patreon. If you're a YouTube member, we have some cool NNRC emojis. I want to see you guys using them in the chat as well. We put them up there. Check them out. And all right, there. Max is busy on the comments. Max can multitask, unlike me. Thank you, Andrew DeRoos, and thank you, Mr. Spittin' Bars. 2 super chats right off the bat. Thank you very much. We greatly appreciate that. If you wish to support the podcast a little bit more, you can be a YouTube member or a Patreon. I will be doing a live in both of them tomorrow to get into some more nitty gritty of the Jeezums. All right, well, we gotta talk about that. We gotta.
You know what, Jake? You said they should make a post and say they are vice final champions.
We got to start off easier than this. Let him do his spiel.
Yes, but we have to address this because X-Ray are 2025 two-wheel drive champions of the B-Sort. Well done, Mr. 33 Spittin' Bars. A big shout out to all the companies that make this possible. They are J Concepts, High Tech RC, Sidewinder Fuel, Latera Racing, Invisible Speed, ML Toys, Side Piece Racing, Dollar Hobbies, Get Shit Done Coffee, Elite RC Productions, Mayako RC Project, Techno, Beach RC, Racecraft USA, Clinic RC, as well as Fly Sky. A big shout out to our drivers, David Ronafalk, Robert Batty, Alexander Hagberg, Matty G, Pekko Evening, you know how to Mason Fuller, and he doesn't know this, but we're making Davey Bada an NNRC driver. You know,
the beaner.
We you know, being as Matty G isn't it? We can't just have one Mexican. We got to have 2. So there we go. We're bringing Davey Bada, who had a very good run at the Worlds. Probably could have been a world champion right now. Probably could have been a world champion. Huh?
Do we have a nickname for Bada yet?
Well, JQ called him a teddy bear.
Yeah, but
yeah.
I
like David.
I like David. We gotta get him a name, okay? Because if you're an official NNRC driver, you gotta have a nickname.
Well, he'll come up with something. And I noticed. You know what? I can see now because I went and got some new glasses yesterday.
Yeah, someone commented about this. Lefty wears glasses. He's always been wearing glasses when he actually needs to do something. So this man's legally blind, apart from when
I am
he
not
puts glasses on.
I am not. You know what? I also have to issue an apology before we get going. Right? So I was wrong about something, and I'm not afraid to admit it. I was wrong about something. I'm not afraid to admit it. And I actually, this is about S-Works. So remember on the World's preview show with Andrew Salvaggi, I said that the reason that I think S-Works is not going to the Worlds is because they didn't have a car. Because the last time I saw an S-Works car in the States, it had a whole bunch of associated parts on it, right? Now, Pekko, you said yesterday that they had a new car at the Worlds, at the Euros on dirt. So then Mika actually reached out to me about it, and he said he gave me a reason for why they're not there. So first of all, I want to apologize that I did say that. I was wrong. So they do have a car. I can admit when I'm wrong.
That's what I said.
Yeah, you said it, but I said this on a different podcast. I said that S-Works was using, because at my knowledge at that time, I haven't seen an S-Works car in America in over a year. The time I did see it over a year ago, they were using associated parts on it, right? So that's where I was basing my point of view off. But I do apologize to all the S-Workians out there. I do apologize that I blasphemed the name. I was wrong. I do apologize. You guys have a new car coming out. Mika said he's going to be, so he did give me a reason for why they're not going either. And I sincerely apologize, because when I'm wrong. I can admit it. He is coming to AMS, and I think he's coming to Carpet Championships. I heard Robert's coming as well. Oh, he is going to Masters of Dirt too. So we'll see the new dirt car at Masters of Dirt in Hobby Action. But I asked him why they didn't go to the Worlds, and he said they decided not to spend a huge amount of money traveling to the Worlds in Australia because going there without zero experience, because they didn't go to the warm-ups. We didn't expect to have a chance at the race, as other drivers or brands tested there a lot before. So we said we better save that money and go to the USA instead. And he said there was really no point going there because but at the time of the World's warm-up, they did not have their prototype car yet. Well, it was not just ready. So basically they didn't go to save some money. to go to America and just not feeling that they had the car to go ready to go to that race without going to the warm-up first. So I do apologize to S-Works. And whoever got upset about that, I do apologize, but I was wrong.
Can you say it one more time? Just
Mac
to be sure. Just to be sure.
I think if someone gets upset, it's their own fault, unless you say some hurtful shit. So
you was wrong about something too, Max. You was wrong on your times of your schedule.
Yeah, you know why? I'm actually not wrong. Okay, listen to this. I do apologize that I put the time there, because most of you people refer to EST, but EST I was accurate about. But the thing is, you guys are living in Eastern Daylight Savings Time, okay? But you still call it EST, not EDT, which is the official term for it. So me using Google, you know, I'm a busy guy. I used Google, look what time is EST, put that on there. And me, you know, I didn't realize that, you know, because Portugal didn't have Daylight Savings Time, Finland does. Apparently EST does too. So that was a Daylight Savings Time issue. One more reason to get rid of that bullshit, because I absolutely hate it. But yeah, I'll fix that for four-wheel drive. But I was technically correct about it. Keenan, you're on. We cannot hear you.
You was 10 minutes off too. You was 10 minutes off because
the schedule was off. The schedule was off.
The schedule it was. Also, we have to. You know what? Also, another thing we have to correct. So, and we didn't say this. We was talking yesterday. Pekko and I were talking about the atmosphere at the E-Buggy Worlds without having an announcer. So they do. So, and I was told this. They are. So the announcing that's coming from Scotty and those guys on this feed is being pumped into the pits and to the crowd, so the crowd can hear that, right? Which is cool. I understand that. But what people don't understand is that they're calling a different race from what's going on for the drivers, right? So they did make an adjustment, and they did allow the race director to actually call out some things yesterday. So there we go. There's a step.
Yeah.
But you know what? Go ahead, Pekko.
Can we now stop saying sorry to everyone?
No, first off, we got to say congratulations, Broc Champlin and Schumacher and America.
Yeah.
Woo! America has got you guys. You know what? America is got Europe when it comes to two-wheel drive.
No, listen, dude. Listen. Did we do the same when Carol won the Worlds in E-Buggy?
America.
So, can you stop
America?
Now?
You know,
That's the problem. That's the problem.
Yeah, I didn't fly the Calamari Union flag when Carol won. You know, it's not what we do. But
yeah,
now that the Americans actually win, it's like you know, it's crazy. It's like no, but realistically speaking,
has got
they came through. They came through.
They did.
Well,
they did.
Well, when was the last time a European won two-wheel drive? We have to look at that up.
I'll get it up for you guys at some point, but
I don't remember.
Before we go on to all of that, all the EU, America, we'll save that to the latter part of the show because we want the people to attend that. We do have a few suggestions for Bada, and I do want the people to keep these up because we're gonna have to figure out that nickname during this podcast, Keenan. So
somebody did say something. Yes,
there was a Bada Bing. I like this.
Yeah, that's good.
I like
that's
that.
Good.
Yeah, it could be Bada Bing, Bada Boom. It could be both.
Yeah.
Two-parter. The other one I saw was Debater. And then when he wins Masters of Dirt, he can be Master Bader. But yeah, I think I didn't see more yet. But keep them coming, guys. Keep them.
I
coming.
like Bada Bing.
I like it too.
I like Bada
imagine announcing
Davey, Bada Bing.
Bada is the TQ. Bada Bing, Bada Boom.
There we go. I like that. I think that's gonna.
Good.
I think that's gonna stick. Thank you, Bowman. Eagle Scream. Send A1 to me to watch 4-wheel drive.
Why don't we have the voice notes for that one? We don't have.
Oh, hold on.
Good Eagle Scream. Do we have an American one?
I do. Here we go.
ridiculous one, Jay Smoker, and you're listening to the No.
You can't get more American than Jay Smoker.
Well, yeah, Jay's, yeah.
Ridiculous. Woo!
Yeah. But I do like the bada bing. But yeah, let's get cracking, should we?
Yeah, let's get going.
I don't know how you guys been starting these. I'm out of the loop.
Okay, so hold on. The last European two-wheel drive champion. Oh, sorry, was Martin.
That doesn't count. I'm sorry.
No,
guys.
somebody had it
I'm
up
sorry,
here.
guys.
No, sorry. 2009 was the last European winner.
Yeah,
which was Martin Actor.
Yeah.
I know, but you know
But
how
it's
many
the race
entries
that
that
no
race
one
Oh,
got?
that was in South Africa, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they got like 20
Ah.
entries. You know, the funniest thing is Jorn Neumann was at the top of his game that time. Durango four-wheel drive was like the car to have, you know? And Neumann never ended up winning the Worlds. And this was like, because at Vasa, it was like, okay, maybe Durango will get their first championship. But then people were like, oh, no, After got it 2 years ago. Don't even worry about it. But yeah, Neumann did not even end up getting it. So
Thank
yeah.
you, Mike
Still
Winters,
the-
and congratulations to Schumacher. Thank you,
Yeah.
Mike.
And okay, 2009, I guess it counts for the history books, but it's not like when we talk about this EU versus USA battle, then it doesn't count. So I don't. That's kind of like, you know, we had a race in somewhere where only Americans went to.
And it seems like that this whole battle of European and American guys is like American thing. We don't really talk about it in Europe. It's an American thing that they made up that, oh, these are Europeans and these are Americans. So what?
It's always going to be like that. Look at, they just had the
And
Ryder
then every
Cup.
time when American
not even-
wins, they are like, oh, America. Fuck
Because
yeah.
But listen, it's always going to be in rivalry, the American versus Europe thing. Look at the Ryder Cup that happened last weekend, right? It happened in New York, and it's always going to be a rivalry between you two. And you Europeans also have your thoughts as well against the Americans. So it's tit for tat. Tit for tat.
I think Pekko is slightly wrong. There definitely are Europeans, but they're mostly like Frenchies who do that.
Way, yeah, but that's the different thing.
Mostly French people who have their beef against America, and some Italians for sure.
Okay.
But I think the rest is kind of like they don't care. Like the Germans, they don't really even go to the Worlds unless it's in South Africa, you know. Martin Achter is German, by the way, you know. So that's why. Oh, and Micha is Austrian. So I guess I got that wrong too. But I'm just going through the list of the IFMAR World Championships, and someone in the comments said that Craig is basically the only one who's ever won two-wheel drive worlds who is not a Japanese or American. And going through the list, like that's pretty much it's Masami or some American who has won any 10 scale worlds in a long time. Like, sure, Coelho got a few world championships, but you know, it's Americans, Masami, and then, well, to be fair, Jukka Stenari, a Finnish guy, won four-wheel drive, but that's still not two-wheel drive, which was sort of the discussion here. Yeah. Even if we go through all of 10 scale, we have a few Finnish guys, one Finnish guy winning twice, Neil Craig. Then we have Martin Achter, and then we have Bruno Coelho. Apart from those, I don't think. Oh yeah, Ongaro won four-wheel drive last time out. So all throughout history, we really don't have many 10 scale world championships in Europe altogether. I think it's always been sort of an American class. And the reason being most likely is because Associated has won so many and Yokomo and Associated won so many. And back in the day, I feel like those were kind of the things that dominated. Europeans weren't really into the American market that much. Yeah.
All right.
So
Well, let's
Europe
move on to this one.
Europe has always been worse in 10 scale than America. So that if we think of it a lens like that, and now there is more Europeans in the main than Americans, this is like a pretty good result for the Europeans. If you think
There
of it that.
there were more Europeans and well, and of course Koiki Kata, who we think you are absolutely thrilled about, because this guy is the real deal coming out of Japan as well, and he was very impressive to me. But let's move on. Let's get into the race because Max already went on a 10-minute tangent and we ain't got started. Okay, so yesterday at day 3 we had a control practice. You had a Q5. The top heat started kind of in the wet. They started at 15, so they started in a slower track. Broc Champlin was able to TQ. Ongaro needed a good run, couldn't get it. Yuna needed a good run, pipped Ongaro out of the A final. So I was shocked when I saw that. All the X-Ray guys had great runs, so X-Ray found something. And yesterday we talked about them possibly bending their chassis and using another chassis. Well, I heard that they didn't, but who knows what the truth is? Nobody knows. And the rule is, even if you do go to another chassis, you have to use the same type of chassis, which I think is a stupid rule, because now with using different chassis lengths, it's a tuning option, right? You should be able to tune your chassis and stuff like that. So,
or you do it like Schumacher does and be clever. You can change the length of the chassis with the plastic thing, so you can tune it with the same chassis. Exactly.
Yeah. We even had a comment
saying that in Schumacher you can add, I think it's 5 millimeters to the chassis, or take it out.
Really?
Maybe someone can learn about that, so you don't have to change the whole chassis or bend it.
I just saw Max's mug. So we did have a question about this. Yeah, he goes, Igloo says, a lot of drivers talked about finding something in the cars overnight, especially the X-Ray drivers. Do you know what changes they made? Do you guys want to wait to answer that?
We can ask from Invisible Speed.
Yeah, if he comes on her. JQ, if you're listening to this, go to the second link I sent you in your email, not the first link, because it's probably going to come in that room. All right, so here's my thoughts on this. As we go, so Broc got some confidence after Q5 TQ. He was already looking spicy. Then we head to the practice final, right? Now, I don't know if you guys watch it, but me and my buddy are watching this, and he goes, watch. This practice final is going to set the tone for the rest of the racing going on here. So anyway, Broc and I know what you're laughing at. Broc and Mr. Spitting Bars is vicious. Here's my theory. I think that Broc and Carap, they were having a good battle in the practice finals. And like Broc got in front of him. Carap made a mistake. Broc got in front of him. And then Carap was all on the ass of Broc. But Broc was holding steady. And then they were coming onto the straightaway. And then Carap tried to make a pass. And Broc just went, no, boom. And fucking Carap went flying off the track. Then later on in that race, Kopovic and Broc came together. Right, not too long after that, took each other out. Then that's when I think it was Orlowski got in front, right? And then Orlowski got in front, and I think Davey Bada just passed him in the end to get there. And if you look at it, that's what gave Davey Bada look good. Davey Bada made a beautiful pass coming off that hip jump, and that guy just went a little bit wide, and Davey Bada just went, whoop, thank you, bada bing, bada boom. There we go. We're using it. So, in my opinion, that set the tone for everything going into A1. And then we went into A1. Well, okay, so that's my thoughts on it. Before we get into A1, Pekko, give me your thoughts on it. Then we go to Max, and we know Max is going to be 20 minutes.
Yeah.
What did you say?
My thoughts on the confidence that Broc built, and probably confidence that Carap lost coming from Q5 to practice main.
I was just
to A1.
Yeah, I was trying to watch the practice one, but yeah, I didn't have time to watch it. But yeah, I think the thing for Carap was that I'm not sure. Maybe in the fourth qualifier he was like giving out some room for the other guys to take some points or something. But then in the 5th qualifier in the morning, he was actually quite slow. He wasn't the fastest on the track. So for sure, his confidence went down maybe a bit. But I know him; he's quite confident guy. So I think it didn't affect him that much because he knew that his car should be good on the dry track and should be fine. Then I don't know. Did it really matter for the the practice final? It could affect a bit, but I think most of the racers who are super good, they're good at just wiping out the things that happened. And of course, it's just a practice. It's not a race. It's practice. It's a different situation. So knowing him, I would say I think it didn't affect that much of his confidence, but maybe a slight amount that he will make a small mistake in the final.
To be honest, I didn't watch the practice main, so maybe there was more to the incident than there was, but I don't think I at least looking at the way Marcus drove, there was no like sort of even the mistake he made in A1, which we're gonna go into later. I think that was just him, being under pressure. It was not that he was, doing anything like weird that because Broc did something. So I don't think that was an issue. What I do think was an issue was that since Q4, Marcus was nowhere. Q's 1, 2, 3, Mans TQ'd, no challenge. Sure, they was close by, but it looked like he was in control. Then Q4 comes. I don't know if they tried something, but he was not there. Practice final, as you said, issues. Q5, he was like barely in the top 20. Even his best lap, he wasn't close. Sure, Q4 and Q5, he didn't have any reason to have good results at that point, and he ended up just kind of like maybe losing focus. But that's very different. Whereas in the 8-scale worlds, even after he TQ'd, he had locked in TQ, he was still right up there. He was testing stuff, switching his cars, and then still being there, 2nd, 4th. But then here, that didn't happen. Like he, as soon as like he TQ'd, he dropped off the pace. So I really don't think it was the practice final. That was the sort of reason. Sure, it might have been a nail in the coffin for their confidence, but definitely not. Like, no way someone like Marcus gets unraveled that fast. No way. Like,
Yeah.
I just don't believe it. I'll bring up something because this is something I wanted to show. I don't know what Keenan is trying to do, but I cannot hear you.
You're muted.
No, don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. Let's talk about this. Paul Wynn. I was told Marcus, his dad was stressed, panic after practice fun. See, there's confirmation of my theory.
No, listen.
That's not confirmation.
It can be his dad only.
Yeah, and it can be that they tried something and they didn't find B.
Someone who is not racing, who is not in the groove of doing the laps around the tracks and those things. I think it can be that dad was a bit panic or something like that. But like racers, they're usually kind of in their own mind and trying to figure out things, and it's super like it normally driver doesn't get panicked or something like that if something not that big happens.
Yeah, and the reason they was panic could be from anything. It could be that the track changed, because if you look at lap times from the mains, those lap times were significantly slower than running yesterday. So I don't have the lap times up right now, but looking at Q5, these guys were doing high 27s, whereas yesterday they were doing high 26s, where Marcus was at his best. So track's completely different. Marcus has lost focus in Q4, Q5. They probably tried something for practice final, and it didn't work because Broc was fast.
I think now when I'm watching the practice final, Carb doesn't look that bad. He's catching Broc, he's racing Broc. I mean, yeah, the incident happened, but it was wheel to wheel, and he just got the worst out of it. He was still battling them good, so I wouldn't say that he really lost his confidence because it's still a practice for final. You treat it differently than a race final.
Yeah. I wouldn't say he lost his confidence, but I think Broc got in his head.
I think here's what Paul said. So Paul is obviously, if people don't know who Paul is, he's very well in contact with people who are at the race, like Jason, for example. So he knows a lot of things that maybe a lot of us don't. And this is what he says, what he was told. Marcus changed the setup after Q4 and went backwards. If something unraveled his confidence, it's something like this, not someone, giving you a wheel in practice final. That's just my take on it. But
I'm sure if somebody else would have said this, you would agree with him. But because I say it, I'm just a tinfoil wearing conspiracy idiot. But that's fine. I still stick with my theory.
I think these drivers, if it was Thibaut, if it was who would I say? Thibaut, maybe Fend, maybe even Rivkin to some extent. I think that could have had that difference. Maybe Orlowski, it could have had that difference.
What happened, Pekko?
Pekko is
dude. I have an idea. Let's get rid of this practice final and have that the A1.
That was
the best. Yeah, that was the best race of this race.
Yeah, it was wicked, innit? It was good. Did you see Davies pass?
Yeah. Oh my god, that was a good one.
But my point being, there are drivers who are mentally really strong. Kerap is one of those. There are drivers who definitely have weaknesses mentally, which I mentioned, Thibaut, Orlowski, and I don't know who else. Who else I mentioned there? Those are guys who have TQ'd races in the past on unraveled under pressure, and that's kind of they do win a lot, but they also have this tendency to, because Marcus last race he TQ'd apart from what he does is he starts second or third and then goes on to win, and maybe this is this comment, something like this. Sure, it can be.
Actually, this is a good comment. Let's read it. So people who are listening, I think the fact that he had no AE as a rear gunner rattled him more, and that because Broc had Kobovic right behind him, right, so they could push.
Yeah,
and I kind of felt that myself, to be honest, when I watched it. So that was my thoughts on that as well.
I think that makes for sure a difference, because I think if you have a teammate behind of you, it makes the difference that how he's driving, and that he's not gonna T-bone you in the first corner.
Oh.
We still haven't gone through this that I had put here, so let's go through this now and then we move on to the main. Okay. So I put here in the notes about the sort of what's the word for it? How many brands, how many drivers, so on. So 4 Americans, 5 Europeans, 1 Japanese guy. Okay. This is obviously starting grid for the finals. 3 Schumacher, 7 Associated, 4 Hobbywing, 2 Reedy, 1 LRP, 1 R1, and 1 Elsra. And something that was interesting, if we're going to go up to the mains, Rivkin was starting 6th, you know? And this is something I think we have to say that you really can't count Rivkin out when it comes to World Say mains, I think. For some reason, it doesn't really matter if he starts 2nd, 3rd, 4th, even 6th. He's gonna be in the same picture when they cross the finish line in these finals as the top 2. And as we said, Broc 2nd after qualifying, Kobevic, Bada, and then obviously our countryman Jona in the main. And Clement Boda, I don't think we've said a word about him today. I don't know if you guys talked about him before, but he was solid. He was solid all week. So congrats to these guys at the back, because it's unlikely that we're going to talk much about them, and most of these finished in the bottom anyway. So like it's not like they changed positions. Jona finished 10th and Koki 9th and 8th. So all right, Keenan. Now I'll let you grab the wheel and put on some footage from the mains.
Well, before we do that, let's pay some bills. A big shout out to J Concepts for all their support. And as soon as I find it, we'll play it. I do apologize if there's a lot of ads happening. I made a bubble. I did delay them just now. I'm trying to figure this out, so I do apologize for that. Bowman said there's constant ads, so I did pause it. I do apologize. And also, some people that watch this afterwards, it's like a shit ton of ads in there. I tried to stop YouTube from doing that. I go in once it's done and I delete a lot of these ads and only put a few in because I know how it sucks. But thank you all for the support. Let's get to this video right here of A1. We have an incident here because this is a point of contention. Now, I did have a video for this, but the person that sent it to me has not given me permission, not giving me permission on Google Drive to get it. So a lot of people were talking about, we'll just play this while we're talking. A lot of people are talking about the incident that happened here in A1 between Karap and Broc. I do have some pictures that somebody sent me, but I've not been given permission to share them of the incident. But I did. We looked at it as a group. But here you go. You can see they're starting off, and I'm thinking, okay, Karap looks confident here, but Karap made a couple mistakes that led to him not doing this, not winning this. And there's a couple of things I wanted to talk about when we get there. But here you go. Maybe you guys' assumption, this looks like a kind of a normal start, a pretty clean start, and like Broc is there, and Karap's not able to put away from him.
And you know what? Yellow wheels are back.
Yes, I heard about all of that.
Oh yeah, that's a whole nother debate. I think that's a bigger debate than the Europeans versus Americans,
for sure. That's
but
always the thing.
yeah.
I'm gonna run yellow wheels now on. Okay.
Yeah. So what Kina said there, that the sort of Karap couldn't run away, I think that was the case. So when Karap was out front, it never looked like he had a gap. You know, like there was like many parts of this main where Champlin was right behind him, and he had to check up. Like, for example, there was that big moment where they almost came together over the corner tabletop, where Broc had to really, really check up and not jump it at all to not hit Marcus. And even if you look at this, you can see the top three have a gap to Bada now. I think Bada made some mistake in the beginning. He does end up catching up this group. But there was definitely comparing this a lot to the 8-scale worlds just before E-Buggy worlds. That same confidence that Marcus had there, it never really materialized at this race. It's in the mains, you know, even if Champlin makes mistakes, and he does make a lot of them, he's always able to just punch it right back up and catch up. And you can see all these sort of sections where there's the acceleration, how much he catches up. And I think someone even mentioned that in the comments, that the acceleration the Schumacher guys had was much better. And in like a final setting, it's easier because you can make a little mistake and then, you know, check up and catch up again. So I think that allowed Champlin to take it quite easy, because he puts no pressure on, or like he doesn't try a move at any point of this race. He's really, really respectful to Marcus. So I think even if it looks like, you know, it's a tight racing, I think Champlin's just waiting for his weight by. That's my take on it.
Your turn, Pekko, because we're coming up on the incident.
There's still
Yeah,
1.5 minutes.
I think at one point I was looking like, I think it's somewhere here or some point that Marcus having a bigger gap. I was like, okay, now he will be gone. But then still Broc jumped back and he was like super close to Marcus. Like here, there is some gap creating. Like I was like, okay, now he's gonna be gone. But then he catched him again, and yeah, it just generally looks like the Schumacher has a lot of more forward. Maybe it's something different with tires. Maybe the tire strategy was different, or I think generally Schumacher, you can have a lot of forward grip going forwards with the hubs and like having a lot of angle with the drive shaft. The car is like has so much forward that the car just jumps forward. So I think you can really see it here that the car has a lot more forward than Marcus has.
There's still one more lap to go for the incident, Keenan.
No. But this is where it starts, in my opinion.
This is where they would have this part where.
This is where I think. No, this is where I think Carap starts to unravel. I'll show you right here.
Is just. I think it's just.
Can we just watch it and you'll see it?
Fast. Yeah.
Listen, so he comes around this, and here Broc is on him, and he clips this pipe, and he goes really slow, and there's Broc right on him, pressuring him. Right, so he comes in. Carap regains his composure, but Broc is right behind him, hounding him.
Yeah, that's the checkup I was talking about. Yeah.
And then on this next lap, you'll see where. Should I? No, I just let it run. On this next lap,
run.
I thought Marcus I thought he was going to pull away right here, but he didn't. And this seems to be a part of the track that Broc is just a lot faster than him on. This part of the track.
Seems like Broc is faster everywhere.
Well, here we go. So Carap goes a little bit too wide, clips that, and that's where it all goes wrong. All right, so I want to bring that back because this is the incident that's in contention. Some people say he got hit. I believe they did protest it. I could be wrong.
Yeah,
it was
it
was deemed a racing incident.
Yeah.
The pictures
I think
that
Marcus's dad made the protest.
Yeah, but this is
how much is
so. Marcus clips the. I don't know, a few hundred. It's not bad. So Marcus clips the curb, cases the jump, and
I mean here you can see Broc is like Broc has to avoid Marcus because he will get stuck a bit in the landing, so he needs to go wide here.
Yeah,
and I think here Marcus has a good landing, so he just punched it, and basically Broc has to jump there because. Otherwise, he would have been on the dust.
Yeah, so that's the issue. This second jump is basically where Marcus, where the landing of the first jump is where Marcus screws up because he clips the curb. He has to really punch it on the tabletop because he doesn't carry a lot of speed. That lifts his front end up, so he doesn't get a good ride for the second double. So Broc goes side by side, and he's even in front of Marcus when he lands from the second double. And then going into the third double, you can see here, Marcus is actually. Can you take it back like at the slightest amount, so we can see, and then move it forwards and try to pause it on the face of the third jump, because here it's obvious that Champlin's behind. But when you go into the second double, now they're side by side. And when you go into the last one, yes, Marcus is slightly ahead, but you can already see what's happening here. Marcus is fully punching it, and he's going into the corner, because at this jump, a lot of these guys were jumping to the flat anyway. So Marcus knows that he can jump the flat, over jump, go even a bit wide in the corner, and then just close the door in the corner. The issue is that because going into the second jump, they were side by side, and landing the second jump, Broc was probably ahead. That doesn't work. They're too close by. And then the track turns left. So obviously, Broc has to turn left as well. If you look at this, Broc's car is angled straight to the inside. Marcus's car, similarly, straight to the inside. And they're both going to land in the middle of the track. But one is on the left side of the track, one is in the center of the track. And this is sort of the issue here, because Broc has to steer left, Marcus has to steer right. And when you play it forward from here, Keenan, you can see that it's not necessarily that one is behind when they touch in the air.
Yeah.
When they go into the corner, they're pretty much side by side, and they would have landed right, like on top of each other, and that's the issue there. I think, in a way, yes, you could say, oh, Broc should have left room because he was moving left, but the track goes left. So
Also,
if
I think
if we look at this, the only one who cross jumped is Marcus, which is a bit silly to think, because he obviously goes straight and Broc goes left, but the track also goes left. And then
you can
both
also
of
see
them
how
are
the
sort
car
of
is in
taking
the
the right
rear.
angle. Yeah, both of them are taking the right angle to the corner from
Because
their
I'm gonna make this
section of the track.
I'm gonna make this bigger so we can see it a
And
little bit clearer.
you can see from Marcus that he was punching the jump because the car is nose up.
Yeah,
And Broc is like normal. And I think that when Broc was on the right side, there might have been some dust. So that's why the car went maybe a bit too much left.
yeah, and also when you go into a jump phase steering, it always steers more than you expect.
Especially when
So
you're running two with the low grip.
yeah. So it's really hard to gauge how much you move left. And if you look at this, if one car is cross jumping, it's the one ahead. But that being said, I do think if Champlin was playing it safe, he could have not jumped as far, jumped straight to the landing, because you could expect Marcus to get nervous, over jump, and go wide. Where if Champlin would have played it safe and let himself go to the landing of the jump and power into the corner, he would have had the inside line. And I think basically the only way Champlin could have got the short end of the stick would have been if Champlin was the one who crashed worse out of this incident. Any other way Champlin played this, he was going to get by, because Marcus was way over jumping this jump, and you could, when you land nose high like that, like you're gonna have a bad landing. So I think it's not the best racing out there, but I don't think this warrants a penalty.
I would agree with you guys.
You can also see Bada behind. He has the similar kind of situation, but he's not as wide as Broc, but he will do the same.
You know what?
You can actually play this forward. We can see, because Kobevic does get a really short end of the stick here. If you look at what Marcus does, which he drives, play it in slow motion if you can. Yeah.
Oh, slow motion.
Yeah, if you can slow motion, because Kovacic gets a really short end of the stick here, because he hits Marcus when Marcus is going the wrong direction here. So Kovacic goes
Yeah,
to
but
the
so
inside.
look, Bada. He needs to
Yeah,
avoid Kovacic, and he needs to go left here also.
yeah,
Exactly
and
the
he
same
jumps
as
the
Broc.
same way.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So Bada goes around. Yeah, just let it play
Oh,
out.
sorry.
Yeah. So here they hit Marcus facing the wrong way on the track. And I'm pretty sure here where Marcus comes to the track, he hits Kovacic. Well, Kovacic kind of hits him, but yeah, and then he's right at the back there. And
Wow, Bada and
this was really close for Bada getting the lead. But this is exactly what you should do. That line Broc took, that he basically went too wide and then braked too much if you wanted to do the fastest line. But what he did there was he was securing the inside, and I think that was beautiful racing for both of them. Bada knew that he had the losing line, but he tried his best. If Broc would have, overshot the corner or something, that was really really beautiful racing at the end.
And look who is third.
Rivkin.
Yeah, Spencer Rivkin. That's crazy.
I thought Bada had a chance, but good job, Broc Champlin, dude. Good job.
Yeah.
I agree with you guys. I don't think that it was a warranted penalty. I think my thoughts on it is exactly kind of cross jumps, and he's trying to send it. But what this does, if you see the start of A2, this makes Carap very timid going into that tabletop. As he goes into the tabletop, in A2, you can see Broc is jumping it, and Carap is jumping up onto the top of it. So, yeah. But you know what? I'm gonna finish up our poll, and I'm gonna make another poll, and I'm gonna see what the YouTube chat says. So, are we done with A1? Are we done with A1?
Yeah,
then?
well, we are. But what is our poll?
Our poll right now is, and it's at 89 votes. Will X-ray, Rebond, and four-wheel drive? Yes says 51%, and no says 49%.
We'll
That's
call
pretty
that
close.
undecided. Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to end that poll. Thank you to everybody that participated in it. So 51% to X-ray, 49% to no. Swing, bada, bing. Swing, bada, bada, swing.
Yeah, that's not a bad entry either.
Thank you, Mr. Spittin' Bars. Bunch of content suckling, marsupial fiddling unks. Make a donation. I love it when Australians start calling people names. Yeah. I don't know what an unk is. I'm gonna have to go Google that.
Ain't that
you know what?
pig?
I have no
know.
idea. I have no idea. You know what? Do we want to go into A2 then right away? Any thoughts before we move on?
Yeah.
Nothing? All right.
No.
Well, thank you, Techno RC, for your continued support. And no Technos at this race, because this is all about 10 scale.
Techno RC. Techno RC is a championship-winning manufacturer of high-performance A-scale, 10-scale, Nitro, and electric RC buggies and trucks. With a worldwide dealer network, USA and Europe-based headquarters, comprehensive warranty program, and global race support, Techno RC is excellence in RC. View the full lineup of Techno RC race-proven vehicles by visiting www.technorc.com.
Thank you, Techno RC, for all your continued support. Thank you guys out there for the comments. We got 177 people watching. Let's get to 200. Share. Well, I'm getting the poll done. And yeah, let's go. Let's move on to A2. You guys can start it out. I'm just doing the poll, and I'll bring up the video of A2 actually here in a second. Do you want the video of A2 right now?
Actually, yeah. Put the video of A2 on. This was, I think, much more entertaining than A1, and that's only because things happened right at the beginning. So Broc got in the lead much earlier on of the main, and we're gonna take a look at that. I think we're gonna, if we can, we try to slow it down as well, because I think Broc gets way too much shit about his racing. I think he's a much better racer than people give him credit for. And that at the end of the straightaway, what he done, that was really nice, really clean, respectful. And same here. And he even takes care of himself when he thinks someone might be touching him. And I'm going to explain why here soon. But again, it seems like it's kind of the same setting as the A1. But here, the mistakes comes earlier. Same thing happens as happened in A1. Kara makes a mistake and Broc gets through, but it just happens earlier on. And then I'll go into some of the other stuff. But that's, I think, the main takeaway from this one.
Pekko, you're next. Let me know when you want me to slow it down there, Maxi.
Yeah, I'm not actually sure. It might be already this lap because it comes really early on. But Kara makes a mistake here at the back.
Oh yeah, I know which mistake you're talking about.
It's next lap, but it's a really nice way of how Broc responds to that.
Yeah.
He doesn't only take the line; he also makes sure that they don't come together the next corner. Kind of covers his own ass, in a sense. And yeah, I think that's something that a lot of drivers don't have in their sort of toolbox, that sort of thing. So I think it's one lap from here still, but it's clearly you can still see that Champlin is much more comfortable following than what we're gonna see later on. What Karup does is Champlin's able to close up, have a little bit of a checkup, and then close up again. And okay, here we go with the mistake. Karup touches the pipe here at the back, puts it on two wheels. And this is what I think was so cool about what Champlin did. It's a very minor thing, but that's something that he leaves a bit space. Yeah, so go back a little bit. It happened already in that corner. So here, okay, Karup goes on two wheels, and Champlin does what everybody would do at the situation. He checks up, goes to the inside, and shoots into the corner. So here, regular drivers close the door and then keep it sort of closed. What Champlin did is he made sure he got to the corner first and let his car run wide. So he made sure they wouldn't come together. And then he checked up again, knew he had that forward drive, trusted that he had that forward drive, and made sure that he would be in front. And even here, he's taking wider lines than he probably needs to make sure that there's no incident between him and Karup before he gets back into the rhythm. Because he knows how Karup drives. He likes to be really close in the mid corner. This is where kind of Orlowski goes wrong a lot of the times. As soon as he's in front of Marcus, he drives his own line where Marcus is trying to make a move. Because I think this is maybe what the panic is. Because you can see Marcus is driving really like erratically. He wants to get back pie. He makes a lot of small mistakes right here. And this one was sort of a mistake from Broc, but he collected himself really well. But that very minor thing that you're not even probably going to notice is a thing that gives, people championships in the end. And I don't know. I think this is one of the biggest issues that Orlowski has, that he doesn't have that sort of thing about his racecraft. That's why he always runs into issues with Marcus. If that had been someone else, there would have been a takeout, possibly. But Champlin played it safe and had that sort of racecraft in that situation, and it was good. All right. Do you have something to comment about that, Pekko? Because I've been talking a lot recently.
Can I just say something real quick?
Yeah,
one quick.
Go ahead.
I fixed the poll, everybody, so please go vote.
Yeah, so I think here when Broc was behind of Marcus, it's quite easy to race with the car, which has more forward traction and braking power than the car which is in front of him. That makes it much easier to go close and not take out. Like now when Marcus and Broc is battling, the problem for Marcus is that he's slacking the forward that Broc has. So he will be kind of all over the place when he is behind of Broc, I think.
Yeah, but there's a section here where you see the sort of gap is developing. And then Marcus gets into the rhythm, and then he catches him immediately until he makes a mistake of his own. And I think that's the thing, that when there's clear air in front of Marcus and he can get into his own rhythm, it's fast. But
every
when
time
it's
on
close,
this kind
it's
of
difficult.
situation, every time on this kind of situation, Marcus is super fast. When he has to do fast laps, he will.
Yeah, and I think one thing is that's the way Marcus drives. The other thing is, I think the associated car had good corner speed, and it was definitely the sort of faster car out of these two. But the issue is that Schumacher had more forward bite. So every time there was a situation between these two where, Marcus was close, he would had those little slips. His car would slip, and then
exactly.
He would try to fix that error and try to get back, and then he would make a mistake like he does here. Whereas Broc, every time he made a mistake, he checked up and then powered out. It was easier because his car allowed him to do that. But when Marcus is in clean air, he's in his rhythm, that corner speed helps him. And it's like sort of one-on-one of racing, at least to some extent, is that a car that's more difficult, more on the edge, is going to give you faster lap times, maybe a faster 5-minute run. But when it comes to racing, you want a car that you can push. You want a car that is easy to drive, and a car that allows you to make small mistakes. And I think that's what gave Champlin a big edge on top of Marcus for this World Championships. But also he really drove well. I think he couldn't have driven much better in the finals than he did. So a very well deserved World Championship for Broc, I think.
I would agree with all of that you just said. And you know what the amazing thing about this, by the way, shout out to Robert Coons, another $20 super chat. Thank you, buddy. Good luck at the Adrenaline Invitational this weekend. I think it starts today. Thank you, Rob, for all the support, man. We greatly appreciate it. Broc said on my INS show, maybe I should bring it up, that I did here recently. He said that he has changed the way he's doing things, like not the way he's doing things, but his thinking, right? And I'm going to play this so we can all listen to it. But he's changed his attitude. Sounds like he's maturing a little bit, right? Because, the first person to hug Broc was Spencer Rivkin, and they've had beef, lots of beef, but not this year. Broc, and when I saw Broc, I've seen Broc race a few times this year, and when I saw him at the INS at Hobbyplex here, and how confident he was, and how calm he was, and how good he was, I was like, that's when I kind of thought, hey, Broc can be a contender for the Worlds. And guess what? He did not go to any of the warm-ups, anything. He says, all I know about the track is that it's got grass in the infield, it's got brown dirt, and it's got pipes. He says, I'm not worried about it. I don't care. I'm just going there with no expectations. I don't want expectations on me. And it's a clean slate. I'm actually trying to bring it up. While I do that, Max, just have a quick chat and I will bring up the video that I'm looking for.
Yeah, I think that's what showed. Whatever, I haven't seen that clip, but whatever he said, I think that showed, because those things I sort of pointed out. Sure, the A1 looks bad. The A1, it looks bad, but in reality, he didn't do much wrong. He maintained his line. He turned left, but the track turned left, so you have to go left. He started the jump at the center of the track. He landed the jump at the center of the track, and that's how you do. That's how you have to do it. Sure, could he have braked a bit more? Maybe, but I think that's perfectly clean. He made sure after they touch, he made sure that he would get around that clean. He didn't panic. He was just there, and that showed. Marcus, on the other hand, he panicked. He punched it, went over the pipes, punched it again, almost slipped out, touched other drivers. You know, he was panicking all of the times. But
Right.
Champlin was more confident. His car was more suited for the situation, and he didn't put a foot wrong in those mains. So
I'm just going to play
I think
this.
It was
This
a good
is,
show.
yeah, this is, so I had a really good live show, myself and Alex Sturgeon, for the IMS live show about a week and a half ago with Broc, and I was very pleasantly surprised how talkative it was, how free he was. And this is one of the things he said. You were saying that you approached your racing a little bit different this year. Everybody,
yeah, I think you had mentioned kind of just keeping my nose out of trouble, I guess. And I think my approach to racing has been so much different, and that's what it all boils down to. Like, I used to spout off at people, and then people would spout off at me, and I would clash, and yeah, just arguments nonstop, just drama, and just, I don't know, craziness. So I've just approached that, tried to take a different approach to things, but I've just tried to kind of pull away from that side of things, and it's definitely helped my relationship with a lot of the other racers, like Aiden, for example.
But going back to Australia, outdoor dirt, there is a lot of hype around this Worlds. You have not been there yet, so you're one of the few drivers that have not been there. What have you been doing in preparation for the Worlds? What do you think about it, and what is your attitude going into it?
No, but the actuality is I've been practicing. I have been doing those things, but I have found for myself, and multiple people have pointed this out in the past, when there's no expectation, I do really well, which is why I don't like the carpet thing again. So when there's no expectation, I go in there not thinking, oh, this is what my car did last time, I'm expecting it to do this. And I think that's all like nonsense for me. For other people that works, for me it doesn't. So it's a clean slate. I'm going there. I've never been there before. I've never seen the venue. I've seen the pictures of the track. I've seen a video on the track. Haven't seen much other than that. I don't know what the pits even look like. I have no clue where the pits are.
Yeah, I haven't actually seen any pictures of the pits.
I don't know what anything looks like, other than I know that the dirt is brown and there's pipes and there's grass on the infield. That's it. And I think keeping that fresh mind coming into it is that's my approach. I haven't ran any outdoor stuff. However, when I was growing up racing, if anybody in this chat or anybody watching this knows the old 702, that's where I grew up racing. I would be willing to put money on it that it was probably worse traction than what we're going to have at the Worlds. So I actually really enjoy it. I really enjoy drifting the car around. My parents owned a track for a little while. It was really, really low grip drifting. Every time like the stuff's loose, I enjoy driving it. And when I enjoy it, I normally do better. So I'm really looking forward to just like the clean mindset. We're going to Australia, for goodness sake. Like, we get to go to Sydney. That's super cool, you know? So yeah, I'm just excited to go. I'm excited to be there. I'm not excited for the 15-hour flight from LA. As far as everything else goes, yeah, I've been running here at home. I'm running on a, like I had said, I've only ran at my home track with these tires, but I've been running the world setup.
You were saying that you approached. There you go.
I think, yeah, what he said at the end, I think that's something that I've learned very recently in driving. Is he says that I've been running the world setup on my home track, so he knows what his car does when it's in that setup. He doesn't try to find something, try to optimize it for his home track, which I think a lot of guys does. Those guys who went to the warm-up, they found something that worked, and he's practiced to get comfortable with that style of car. That's all you need to do to prepare for a race like this. And I think, this is a tangent, but I think this is what happened with X-Ray. They went to Portugal, they won the Euros there, and they thought it was the same going to the E-Buggy Worlds. When conditions changed, they was lost, because what they tried is to absolutely optimize and find the limit of what they had without having a good baseline, overall baseline. And I think what happened here, they showed up with a car that was the length of a fucking Mini Z, and no wonder their stuff doesn't work if they go to that absolute limit. Maybe when they were testing there, when the track had already grooved in, the layout was 6 months old, and the condition, it was right in the middle of winter. Now it's the spring, and their winter, not our winter, obviously. Yes, like obviously, when the slightest thing changes and you've tried to optimize for a very specific condition without understanding why it works, that's where everything goes out the window. And I think doing the opposite, which is, hey, this is good enough for now, and this is something I know, this is something that works, and if I put this that way, that's the direction it goes to. If I put this that way, that's the direction it goes to. That's all you really need to do about your setup if you don't understand it 100% and don't understand the conditions 100%, which is always the case when you go to the Worlds. And if you think about it, a lot of the times the people who win Worlds are drivers that really aren't there during the year. Taylor Sontag, Davide Ongaro, even Coelho to some extent, Rivkin in 2015, Hartson in 2013, and who won Tool Driver? Rivkin won in 2019. I think that was somewhat expected, but I think that's a big point about it, that you can only prepare to some extent, but the best thing to prepare for is knowing what you can do and believing that, it will be enough, and if it's not, whatever, that's all I had, and that's it. And at the end of the day, that's probably what's going to make you do a lot better. And that I think that's the attitude you have to go to these Worlds.
Good points. A3, do we want to talk about that really quick? Because I think the best race was actually the B main. But A3, Karup takes the win. Obviously, Broc doesn't have to start. Karup takes the win. It was actually Rivkin got the lead at one point, but lost it, just wafted by it on his own. Coming off that,
well, he wasn't lead. He wasn't the lead. He was the second. But yeah,
sorry, he was second.
That would have given him. Yeah, that would have given him the podium. By the way, I think it was the last lap or the second to last lap.
I think it was last.
Yeah,
lap.
basically. Yeah, so Bada crashed, let Kovacic and Rivkin through. Then Rivkin crashed, let Kovacic and Bada through, which eventually, because Kovacic got a second in the last main, that dropped Rivkin down to fifth, and because Bada already had a pair of seconds, he was secured in second. The only way he would have dropped down if Rivkin won, which obviously wasn't the case because Karup was way out ahead. But even with the second, Rivkin would have been on the podium because Karup only had a fifth. So, well, I mean, it's only third, but I bet there's a few thousand in there in terms of bonuses for Rivkin. So, yeah, I bet he'd be bummed because that was a silly mistake. He made a mistake, then tried to over-recover, and then made another one. And yeah, I guess we can take a look at it. But
actually, okay, I have the B main.
But yeah, okay, we have B main. I never watched this, so maybe we watch it. A3 was a bit of it's always when the winner is already declared. There's not much to A3s. It was exciting, but it was basically Karup one motor. So
yeah, I agree. I wish it would have went to an A3. I think we all wish it would have went to it, except Broc.
Yeah.
But
I think he's the only one who doesn't. Yeah.
While we watch this, I know one guy on this. The X-ray final. I think we're gonna get JQ in there. Hopefully, we're gonna talk about X-ray here in a minute. But Burak and Tommy Hall had a vicious battle in this race. By the way, that's the race that was really good. Yeah. Shout out to Burak too. Very small Mugen team in the B main. I'm sure he would have rather been in the A, but looks like Mugen is investing some money in Burak to do 10 scale as well. So well done to Burak. Really, really hitting
he's the
pro RC side of things really hard.
And he's the official EOS champion in 4-wheel drive. So it's not like he's unaccomplished in 10 scale.
Yeah, of course. Congratulations to Broc, man. I like I said, just I kind of had him as he could possibly win this. I thought he could win this after INS. And honestly,
You never said that.
I did.
You did not say.
Not with you.
But
I said it on my.
Keenan. Okay, Keenan. I tell this to you every time after
I
you
said
say
possible
you
winners. I had a list of possible
Yeah.
winners. He was part of it.
Yeah, you can list every
but-
driver from the race.
Hey,
Yeah,
hey,
Keenan.
hey, hold
Keenan's
on, just
list.
don't-
Possible
list
winner.
is
Don't get me. Don't get mad at me because my stuff's right.
no.
And you guys pick wrong.
basically copy paste. You copy paste the entry list,
Top 20.
and that's your list.
Yeah.
That's your list.
Everybody
of
can
winners.
win. No, but seriously,
Yeah.
seriously. I
You
honestly thought
you probably predicted Ronafog would win, and he did beat the B main.
Yeah.
But but you said before you said Ronafog's gonna go to this race, and he has one of the favorites to win. You know, and I guess you was right. So I'll give you that. But at
All right,
this
well,
point,
let's
I know
segue.
you for a long enough time. I know you for a long enough time that any time when Keenan says I predicted this,
Yeah.
technically yes, but that's just he predicts everyone to fucking win.
Yeah,
Okay?
Exactly.
Hey, all right.
Yesterday he was like 98% sure that Karp will win.
I was very sure that he's gonna
And
win.
then Bada is the second option.
Hey, but let's talk about Bada, right? And let's talk about Bada. We talked about Broc. Congratulations once again to
Let's
him,
talk about
Schumacher.
the B main first. One thing at a
Well,
time. Mr.
Well,
ADHD.
we're watching the B main.
Yeah. Let's talk about this.
That's Tommy Hall and Borak right now battling now because Ronafog's kind of walking away with this.
Yeah, and I think this is the only time when X-Ray walked away with anything this week.
Jesus, Max.
Hey, they were
Just turn
top
that
three in the
knife a
last
little bit.
qualifier.
Turn the knife a little bit more.
No, but the reason why I'm giving X-Ray so much shit is because they're gonna come out swinging in full drive.
I agree.
Okay, I'm calling it now. Ronafog's be your top seed. Okay,
And
in full drive.
they did not send Tata.
Yeah, I
That's
think
why
I
all
think
top
that's
recognition.
I think that's why X-Ray failed. Is they had
Yeah.
one accomplished two-wheel drive driver at the Worlds, and they didn't send him. I think that's their issue here.
Yeah. They got bad karma.
Bad
Yeah.
juju.
Yeah.
All right.
Here's Mr. Spitzenbord, Bart's. Spitting bars. He puts it as it should be. You know, this is what we're trying to say.
I think you're just upset because I always beat you at silly season. But, anywho, great B main.
Oh,
there was also
I
a
just
great
saw a name.
C main battle between Ben Smith and Nate Sutherland as well.
Okay. Dakota Fan is obviously someone we should touch on, but Lachlan Donnelly.
Yes.
What the fuck happened to this guy?
Disappointing.
What the fuck happened to this guy? Winner of the warm up.
Winner of the race
incredibly
before.
good. Huh?
He won also a race before the warm up, where there was also
Yeah.
top driver.
So 2 times where top drivers went, he won the both of them. And
Yeah.
even in the seeding, he was like right in top 5 most of the time. Qualifying comes in and he's nowhere. I think. Let me check, but I'm pretty sure he did not even have any of a good run. Obviously, I don't have it open here, but
Maybe one top 10 run.
yeah. Okay, here I have it. His best finish was 10th in Q5. So, like, okay, easy explanation. He got the nerves. You know, it was his home race. It was his one chance to prove himself to be a professional RC driver or whatnot. And, like, that's a lot of pressure. But still, I was expecting a lot more coming in, which is, like, I don't know.
I expected him
It's
to make
tough,
the
but-
main.
Yeah, I was like, he's gonna be in there in the top 7, but could he be in top 5? You know, that was kind of my thinking of going in. Do we want to listen to David? Can we have a
I do.
audio
Hold
of
on.
this?
Let me pause it.
Because he did say that he feels confident going into
But a
the
nice way to finish.
Yeah, I mean, for sure, it makes me have a bit better feeling going into forward drive, coming off of that second place in Q2, and I think I backed it up, showing that it was definitely not just like because of the track condition or something. It was we found something in the car that obviously transformed our pace, at least for me, and also Dakota was doing good in the last round. So yeah, we've been working hard, trying everything we could to make it happen. And yeah, it's just a pity it was a little too late. Definitely felt like in Q5 and here in the B, definitely had speed that I think could have been good enough for something a lot better than winning the B does.
Even to see you turn inside on Garo in that off-camber section suggested to me that you guys found some steering that looked like was missing from the car yesterday.
Definitely got a lot more steering in the car in Q5 and in that B main. Thanks to the changes that we did, I was able to have, basically had better grip with more steering. So just everything. And, I was lacking steering for the first couple of runs, the first days there. And then, I was not able to kind of just, power it around, because if you don't have steering, you're just going to overdrive and you're going to make a mistake, and that's what happened. So
any thanks, shout outs?
No, just thanks to the whole team. Like I said, we've been busting our asses trying to work together as good as possible. Everyone has been trying some different stuff, and I think we've definitely found something. Yeah, just unfortunate it was a little too late, but hopefully we can learn something from this and then take it with us back into full drive and then come back stronger.
Can't wait for Saturday.
Yeah, me too. I'm pretty excited. It was a good feeling to end off two drive like this, and I'm sure full drive is going to be a lot better for us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
That's David Ronal taking the B final. We'll be back on Saturday for four-wheel drive with a hunger to go a little bit better. Scotty, Mitch.
There you go. I think Ronal very confident. Very, 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 very confident.
Okay. There was a comment which referred to what I said about
Lack and Donnelly.
That some Mr. Spittenbar said that he would make the main four-wheel drive, and that is, I think, more likely. I think at least from the previous race, I've gotten the sort of feeling that he's more confident in four-wheel drive than in two-wheel drive. So
I think
maybe that's the case.
I think Jaden said that he's more two-wheel driver.
Who said?
Jaden Edmonds. I asked. But also the thing with four-wheel is that it's harder to do it because the home advantage will be smaller.
I guess. Yeah, I guess. But
I think
I don't know.
I think this kind of tracks in two-wheel you can make the most out of with the setup. On dirt, four-wheel you can have it somewhere there and you can still be fast if you're a fast driver.
Yeah, but he commented that I think he's right at the last year. Ripken did beat him in two-wheel drive, and then four-wheel drive was something. So I mean, I don't know. It remains to be seen what happens, but
we'll see after practice.
Yeah, we'll see. But I was disappointed because I think I think he should have been there. I think it was just like nerve. Now the pressure is off too, because now it's like, okay, I fucked it up, so now I'll just drive, and then I think it'll be better.
Or maybe it will be.
Do we talk about? Yeah. Well, it could be, but usually, at least for me, it's like you fuck up one, then now let's start from a clean slate. You guys want to talk about Fend, or is it just X-ray?
Well, we're waiting for JQ to come in. He should be in here shortly. Let's pay some bills while we do that. And don't forget, everybody, head over to that poll. Check out that poll. Or do you want to just sit here and watch A3 and then we'll wait for him to come in?
Let's watch this.
Yeah, let's watch A3 and wrap up the results, because then we can go into brands. That's kind of our next topic. So post-race talks and brands is kind of what we're going to.
Here you can see the same thing with the Schumacher having the forward, and he can pressure Carb a lot.
Yeah,
like you can see, he's like,
and you can see,
super close.
Yeah, and Kobevic he's giving a lot more pressure, a lot less room for Marcus here than Champlin was much more polite in the way he followed. Like there has already been like 3 moments in this lap where had Marcus taken a different line, Kovacic would have taken him out. You know,
I think Broc was playing more with the 4 traction he has, because he knew that if Marcus gonna make a mistake in the corner, slide off a bit, he can just punch it and go past, like he did.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's kind of what ended up being sort of an issue for Kovacic here, the why he ended up losing to Marcus, because he was too aggressive and tried to be too close, where he should have been sort of patient.
Maybe
clearly he has the speed here. Yeah, I can't remember what happened, but I do remember Kovacic making mistakes here. Whereas I think if he had just followed, he would be fine.
Yeah, and also like if you have to do a hard braking, your rear end will step up, so it will be like
exactly.
I have a question.
Sliding all around.
What about Orlowski? I think he has to be very disappointed at this Worlds.
Yeah, for sure.
So far, 2-wheel drive. He was very quiet. I mean, first day he was fast, second, but he just never really. You always expect Orlowski to be up there in the fight, right? And he just never was there.
I think with Orlowski it's a weird thing. Like when there is a title online, like on the line in the race, he's not like as good as in some EOS or ETS.
Yeah, that is true.
I think there is something.
Yeah, and I think I think that is definitely a factor, that he feels the pressure a lot. But I think this is one of the biggest things. So when the track is more forgiving, which means that it doesn't have ruts, it doesn't have the surface really stiff and hard, and when the conditions are damp, if you think about practice day, control practice 2 was run under the lights. So if you ever been practicing at a track and you go out there in the late evening to have a run, the track's always a bit more grippy, a bit more forgiving. And same when the track is damp, and especially when the track is new, there's not those little carcasses on the track that sort of, or crevices on the track that catch your car off guard. And I think that's something that hurt him, because yes, the grip went up, but the track was also more inconsistent in the later days. So I think that was Orlowski's downfall. That when the track got more inconsistent, he got more uncomfortable, and he couldn't get his pace up, where everyone else was like, okay, now I have more grip, so they could shoot up their pace. And Orlowski is definitely not the guy to benefit from forward traction. He's a guy who likes his corner speed. So I think those two factors kind of were against him. But also what Pekko said. I don't know, Pekko, do you have anything to say to Mel Marks about Schumacher
I think
rear end?
the rear D block was the same, but it just had the plastic inserts that you can fine tune the like toe angle and also the wideness of the block. And then in the front end, there is some pictures in Red RC. They did a chassis focus.
Yeah.
And in the front end, the servo is laid flat on the chassis. It's not in the plastic front end. So they made also that for the car.
Let's see what our what Clement has to say.
Show the Spencer incident.
Oh, you want to see Spencer incident?
Corner table.
We kind of spoke over that. You can show like the last relapse, because it was pretty chaotic, if we're being honest.
Right. Let me just
go. You can go back more, because it's basically, I think this is good.
Yeah, from here.
So we have. Oh, that's way too far.
Yeah, we'll go forward.
4 minutes to go. Yeah, we put like 1.5 minutes to go, 2 minutes to go, something like that. Because there was, I think this is where we spoke about Kovacic sort of overtrying, and I think in the end it really came through that he should have calmed down a bit, and he should be fine, because A lot of mistakes happen. But basically now it's Kerub's run away with this. It's a comfortable gap. He can make a slight mistake and still maintain up front. He can like case a jump or whatever. Kobevic's really trying to get Bada, because at this point, if Kobevic finishes third, the podium is going to go to Marcus, and Rivkin's going to actually beat him because Rivkin has already 2/3. So he has to get to second. If he doesn't get to second, he's going to drop down. So he tries to make a move on Bada. You can see here, tries to really, really make a move, makes a mistake, overdrives, hits Rivkin, spins out, carnage. And then Bada gives an absolute gift to Rivkin. Right now it's still Bada second, Kerub third, and Rivkin fourth. But Bada is like, hey, let me get my teammate a podium at the Worlds. My mate, we will get an all-American podium. But so he gives it off, just like that. And then Rivkin decides, okay, one more lap to go. I'm a world champion. I got this in bag. Right now, it's looking like all-American podium. Keenan, pick up your USA flag. It's going to be Champlin, Bada, Rivkin on the podium. These guys are going to go home really excited. Arizona and California in the map. They have conquered the world. And then Rivkin is like, hey, I don't want all that. Let me just jump into the fucking cone. And gives Kobevic the second place in the run. Bada bing, bada boom, finishes third, locks in a second. Well, he was locked in second place anyway. And Rivkin lives to have a fifth at the Worlds, where Kobevic clinches a fourth. And now, we can listen to Kerub, but I don't know. I thought, because I didn't know the overall when I was watching it.
The wind howling this afternoon.
It was crazy.
Perhaps a sign of what might have been a really nice win in A3.
Yeah, a bit disappointing not to get the win, but Broc did an amazing job. Unfortunately, we went the wrong way with the car, and it was just trying to survive out there in all the mains. Also, the last one here, Kobevic did an amazing job to keep up the fight, but unfortunately, he rolled it, and I was able to get the win. Yeah.
I think that puts you third on the podium. Unofficially, we'll get all those results cleaned up perfectly. Anyone you want to say shout out to or thank you?
A huge thanks to my dad. I mean, without him, none of this would be possible. We've been working so hard to even get the TQ, and I'm super happy to just be on the podium. I know it's a Worlds, but we want to get up there, and and I want to say huge thanks to Andrew. He's been working so hard as well, helping me and my dad, because we don't know a lot about the conditions and stuff. So and a huge thanks to all my sponsors for supporting me, and on to the next one.
The next one's in 2 days' time. Look forward to that.
Yeah, that's forward ride. That's my class.
That is a face of confidence. We'll swap your places with Davey. We'll bring Davey in. Davey, a fantastic performance from you all through practice qualifying today. 2-2 in A1 and A2. That puts you second in the World Championships.
Yeah, I mean, can't be too disappointed with that, even though I am. But I mean, car was working great all weekend. Team worked together really great. We were using each other's setups and stuff, and it was amazing.
Shout outs, thank yous for you.
My dad, my biggest supporter. He's been there pushing me the whole way through. So, my mom's here to support me. All our locals back home, and thank you. All sponsors too.
And we'll see you back on Saturday. How are you feeling about forward drive?
I feel I did one day on my forward drive, and I was like, this thing's amazing. I put it right back, put it in the OGO, and packed it up for you.
Fantastic. Can't wait to see you guys go head-to-head. Congratulations on the podium. Davey Batter, second place. Marcus Kerub, third place here at the Two-Wheel Drive World Championships 2025. Scotty, back to you for the wrap-up.
Oh, my God.
Can we put this, on the center of the screen?
Hey,
I don't know.
His nickname should be Cookie Monster.
Well, JQ's here, and I know he wants to talk about
let's let him cool off a bit, because let's go through the results before him, then we can go into the adult section of this show. I know for sure he has something stupid to start off with. I've been here more than enough to know that. Let me
Hey, I'm giving you a warning now. No one up in JQ. Okay? Keep calm your tits. Okay, Maxie?
All right. So top 10 at the world. Let's go through this. Then we'll have our brand winner loser list after that. But or we can do winners and losers now if you guys want. But obviously, Champlin first, Bada second. As mentioned before. Oops. Kerp clinches the third. I think had he not lost his mind after the bit of an incident in A2, he would have finished in second because he would have easily gotten a third from A2, but he really wanted to get that win, and it cost him a bit because he got a fifth and sixth from A1 and A2. Kovacic clinches a fourth, Rivkin in fifth. And like we spoke about earlier, Orlowski went missing today. You know, like he was nowhere in the mains. He had a decent Q5. And that allowed Clement Boda to take advantage of that, finish sixth. I think that's incredible. I think he was fifth at the E-Buggy Worlds, sixth in two-wheel drive Worlds. If we look at this, basically like Karup's the only one who's done better of these guys. And a lot of H-scale guys behind him, Orlowski behind him. Well, I guess Orlowski's second at the E-Buggy Worlds is still more impressive, but yeah. Horn in eighth, Kato in ninth, and Yona in 10th. Yeah. Not a lot of movement, but I think Bada and Champlin are definitely the two who really stepped up in the mains, and I'd say Orlowski and Karup are the two who really had a tough time in the mains. Kovacic, maybe you could put him on there as well, but I think he had a decent time, just got a bit unlucky. Anything else about that, you guys?
I just wanted to say, I think some of the most improved. Yeah, I wanted to talk about some of the guys that improved from the previous Worlds, even though I know it's a whole different surface. But Koiki Kato was 21st at the last Worlds. Clement Boda was 26th. Lachlan Donnelly was 27th, but he did improve. Davey Bada was 15th. And I think who ran backwards, Aiden Horn, was 4th in two-wheel drive. Ryan Cavallari, who didn't make it, he was 5th. And of course, Dakota Fan was in there. Ongaro made the main. Schimmel made the main. He didn't make it this year. Karup from 10th to 2nd. And yeah, I thought that would be interesting to see what it looked like compared to last year. 2 years ago. So good stuff.
If we look at it like that, Orlowski didn't make the main last time out, and neither did Kovacic, if I'm not totally wrong. Yeah, so
good stuff.
I think Cavallari was the only Schumacher in the main last time, if I'm not wrong. I could be wrong, but I think he was the only.
Pekko, anything to say?
I think the most impressive guys has been Broc, Davey. I would say also Daniel, Boda.
Yeah.
I would say Boda and Kato are the most impressed. And then also Yona pulling back from the disaster start of the qualifying and then making a top 3 in the last one and just barely made it. Like he made what he needed to. And it was really, really good.
Pekko, is your phone dying again?
No.
Okay.
No,
this is under the same audio that you did for me yesterday. All right. You know what? Also, congratulations to Schumacher, their first two-wheel drive buggy world championship.
And a little piece of fact: they have not had a world championships in off-road for 38 years. I'm pretty sure that's the largest gap between two world championships in a sort of a section of the sport. Sure, they had their Pan Cars World Championships here, but I think that's pretty crazy. 38 years. 87 was the last time. Think about that. That's a long time ago.
All right. Well, congratulations to Broc and Schumacher once again. And everybody else, we're going to bring JQ in here. And I guess this is when things are going to get a little bit rowdy. And, it's brought to you. We should actually give him a special intro. Here we go.
I've never seen anything like that before. And with any luck, I'll never see anything like it again. No! Play it again. Oh, right.
Hello. Did I freeze up?
No, but JQ's gone. I don't know where he went. I think he got
What happened to
traumatized
JQ?
by that. Yeah, he's gone.
Yeah.
But
So
we know
we're not
he wants
getting
to
him
talk
because
about
of
one
you.
thing. Yeah, I don't know, but I think he wants to talk about one thing and one thing only, and that is himself. That's why he came on the podcast. So, from what we heard is he did have some influence on the X-ray thing. I don't know what kind of influence, but I'm pretty sure he did have some influence on the X-ray thing. And that is interesting. Similar to the Roar Nationals. That's what we're being told. I don't know what's happening with these guys. You know, JQ's gone. Keenan's doing some funny business. So we're gonna have a chat, Pekko, just you and me.
Yeah.
Okay, there's a P comment, and the side effects of having a high functioning ADHD in the waiting room. Yeah, that's the side function. JQ probably figured out he could finish up a project and went out there, and he's gonna be wondering why we guys didn't let him in. So okay, I'm gonna ask you a question, Pekko, because obviously I'm way past this in my career, but for you, would you have liked to race at this race?
I think yeah. I think it would have been cool to go there. I think I really like Australia in general, so I think it would have been super nice to be there, and the track looked amazing. And I think it would have been fun. I mean, I think 10 scale on dirt is not my specialty. I haven't done it that much. Like, for example, Jona has done it quite much in the past. We had races in Finland on dirt and stuff like that. So I haven't done that much, but now when I have done more 8 scale, I think I could have done somewhere okay there. I think wouldn't have not been a big problem for me. But yeah, for sure it would have been cool to go, and nice to see how it would have gone.
Yeah, Mark Atkins says the bugs are too big there, so he's cool. And I think that's something my girlfriend always says, that he never wants to go to Australia, but New Zealand is better. They don't have snakes in New Zealand.
Yeah, New Zealand is safe, but I didn't see. I was like, you know what I was thinking when I was at the ABC. This whole thing is a big pile of scam. I was like,
the animal
I
thing?
saw a spider. I asked, is that a poisonous? No, I never saw anything. I didn't see a snake. I didn't even see a bug.
Yeah, I think it's just people are overreacting. It's the same kind of everywhere. And yeah, I think this is a good time to take some questions, because I know for sure we are not going to be able to fill, because I don't know where these Keenans now out of the whole thing.
I don't
But
know.
we'll keep the show going.
Exactly.
I'll give my 2 cents on this topic, and then we'll respond to some comments that we get from you guys. I did not like the way the car's handled. Like, I don't know what it is, but I've never really enjoyed 2-wheel drive on dirt. You know, it's basically like every time you try to brake, you lose the rear end, and every time you go in power, the rear end slips. You try to race side by side, and the car in front just does, like, you know, the 2-wheel drive. What they do, they do like this. You know, they just go into the one side because you lose grip. You can't really control the car. It's basically just, it's kind of like what you call dancing on the rope, that you're just trying to hold the thing still and make it direct around the track. It's not really that you force the car to the track. I guess in some ways it's similar to a very tricky touring car. I've heard some touring car guys say that to make it have speed, you really need to have the rear end slippery, and when you have it like that, you cannot go on power. I don't know for sure because I've never done that, but I've heard some people say on asphalt that that's the case. Kind of what they said at the Worlds in America, that you're going to lose the grip easily. So I think when you look at those cars, that was really high. When it was going to the straight, they was like doing this twitching motion all together. I don't like, to be honest. Like I know this opinion is unpopular, but I do think we're better off racing on higher grip clay. I do think we're better off racing on carpet, especially with tool drive. Four-wheel drive is fun when it's like this because you can slide the thing around, you can go on power, you can have too much power and still be fine. It gives you some room for mistakes, but for tool drive, I think it's much better than what we have sort of in the modern day. It's more entertaining as well. That's just kind of my opinion watching this again, because it's been a while since we had tool drive racing like this. And
Yeah, I think
I gotta say I don't miss it. I don't miss it.
yeah, I think two-wheel drive cars looks just weird, and all the cars look shit to drive. It doesn't look comfortable to drive around the track. Like when it's too low grip, it's just it like if you are used to run it like that, you will be fast and good. But if you're not, it will be a terrible race for you.
Yeah, and yeah, I think that's something that I've been thinking about, and it was the same in 2023 because it was the cars are not made for grip like that,
Yeah.
and even if you try to make the cars for grip like that, it would never, because what you're trying to do is you're trying to maximize your pace around the track because we do have qualifying, we don't only have racing, so like you need to have some balance of grip. I think Hoodie wasn't as bad, and the reason why it wasn't as bad was because first you had pin tires, and the Proline hole shots are really forgiving, and second, the track was indoors, so it was really smooth, so it allowed your car to slide before you
Yeah, and it
lost
was
grip.
bigger also.
Yeah, it was bigger. So all those things, I think, do account for why I think Hoodie was better. But even the hobby action one, it was carnage. You could see the guys, like, you made the slightest mistake and you just rear end would come around, because
Yeah.
that's kind of why slicks are at anyway. And then not running additives, it made it a lot worse. But let's get into some of the things that we've had there. What chassis would you have run? Well, Pekko would have obviously run Schumacher because
Yeah,
he's still
Schumacher.
sponsored by them. But there was another question, which was, whose car would you like to take around the track? I gotta say, I think whose car looked the most fun to drive was Bada. It looked like he had the most steering. It looked like he had the best corner speed. He did not have that forward bite that the Schumacher guys had, but the Schumacher cars looked really stiff. It looked like the rear end was really hard to feel the edge of the grip, because you could see when Kobe was pushing, the rear end was just sliding around and he was relying on that forward bite. So I think Bada, but what's your take on that?
I think I still would have gone with Schumacher. It's that kind of more like for my driving style. And I like to go into the corner with the brake and, drive the car around the corner like that. So I think I would have liked the benefit of the forward traction more than a benefit of car going more around the corner and have like more decent side bite.
Yeah. I don't know what this is. People are discussing the issue about Broc and Marcus. Rimfire says ride heights were a bit low. I actually think the ride heights were fine, because if you look at those cars, the rear end is like way
Yeah,
up
it's
in the
quite high.
air.
Yeah.
The issue is, I think that with the modern cars, you don't have enough space between sort of the center of the gravity and the bottom of the arm, or the pin of the arm. So what naturally happens is the car is going to get really like edgy like this. It's going to try to fold really easily to one side, and that's where you get that twitching motion in the straight. Mark Atkins he likes the smaller pipes they're using. I like that too. In America, they oftentimes use that really like 8-scale style pipe for 10-scale tracks. It makes it a bit weird. It's kind of like, well, it's another style of racing, but it's no curbs, high pipe. It's basically like driving in Monaco and F1 when you have those walls around them. Some people like the racing. CDB, when cars are easy to drive, it's follow the leader. Racing yesterday was great. Yeah, I think that's a good point. We finally got JQ in the studio. We bring Keenan in as well.
We don't need Keenan.
Dirt Concept says he disagrees with us. He says it was some of the best racing we've seen in many years. I don't know. If you go to look at the mains, if you could look at the past World's A mains, like Jatabe in 2015, it wasn't worse. The Worlds are always exciting, in my opinion, when it comes to the 10 scale.
Yeah, I would agree.
I have an internet problem. I have a few minutes of internet and it's going to shut down. I don't know why.
So can you do your rant in 2 minutes?
Yeah, maybe. I want to...
Yeah, mod works.
I want to complain.
A lot of it goes for rake, which is true.
I want to complain about something. I'm very passionate about this thing. Okay, it's about the stream, the world's coverage. After each heat, they show the results. Yeah, they put the results on the screen.
Mm-hmm.
Why do they have pace there? Not the actual fucking time, but the predicted pace. It's a worthless thing that they should not even have there. But then World Championships qualifying, and they show that as the result. Do you understand? The pace is a predicted.
Well, that's a live RC issue.
Yeah, but they are showing it in the stream. It's not even the correct result. That annoys me.
Yeah, that's
we had an argument with Pekko because of this. Pekko was saying, Kaidop was at 1.5 seconds ahead of Rivkin. Him pulling over didn't mean anything. I said, no, he fucking wasn't. Rivkin had just done a 27.6 or whatever, like a slower lap than his previous 5 laps. He would have still TQ'd, okay? Because Pekko was going off the pace, which is fucking bullshit. The actual gap between the two guys going into the last lap was 2/10.
Yeah, so
Kaidop was ahead of...
Yeah,
exactly. Kaidop was ahead by 2/10. Yeah, not 1.5 seconds. Okay, so fuck pace. Get rid of that shit. Just show the results. Okay, that's one thing. There's one.
Yeah, this was the same thing at the E-Buggy Worlds. There was a lot of guys who were like congratulating someone for, you got second. Like, no, they didn't. Like, that's your pace, and
Yeah.
And the thing is that even if you finish, if your last lap is bad, the pace is better than your actual result. So even after you finish the run, the pace is different. And for some reason, Live RC shows it. It doesn't update from pace to end result. It just shows the pace. So that's something that's really, really put people off many times. We have a good comment. Neutral grounds, USA wins.
It's not neutral grounds because it's 2-wheel drive. Let's see 4-wheel drive.
Okay.
Okay.
So what was the other thing? X-ray?
No, the other thing was also the stream. Okay. So here we go. So if we are watching a race, talk about what's on camera. Okay. We don't care about things happening that we don't see. Who are we watching and what's happening? Talk about that. How about that? Is that too much to ask? Really? Of course, in the finals, it was pretty good because they were showing the leaders and talking about that. But up until the finals, it was a waste of time watching a screen of a fucking red and blue car. You have no idea who it is, and they're talking about something else. Okay? So look at the screen. Talk about that. When something happens, talk about what actually just happened on screen that we watched, and will improve the coverage massively.
But at least, okay, this, I think this is much improved from the usual that we have when, especially in American races. I haven't watched much of RC race media. I don't know about them, but when we go to DNC, oftentimes these guys, when it's qualifying, they're talking about, you know, shakies, you know, or shit like that. So I think that was a big improvement in qualifying. Yeah. That was a big improvement in my opinion. In the main, I think it was fine. I think Scotty and the guy was doing okay. I don't know. Was he talking specifically about qualifying though? Or
yeah. Mainly like qualifying. Yeah. Talk about what's happening, okay? And film different cars, not just one car for 5 minutes. Rotate through the cars so you see all of them, talk about them, that kind of stuff, you know? And towards the end, pull in on whoever's winning the heat. That would make sense, wouldn't it? And also, I think the coverage has been actually really good. But those two things, they ruin it. It's like baking an awesome cake and then peeing on it. It's like, yeah, you baked an awesome cake, but you fucking peed on it. So no pace and talk about what's happening on camera, please.
I do have to say, I mean, I don't know to what extent you want to do that, but I was watching RC Racing TV coverage from the E-Buggy Worlds after the race happened, and I absolutely hated the way they covered the qualifying. It was basically just like they was talking about each guy as they were going around the track. It was basically like they was doing a shakedown or something. There was no talk about who's in the lead. There was no talk about, hey, these two are fighting second and third. The TQ is done this time. Their estimate is like this, or their pace is looking to be like this. And they was filming like guys who were like having a shitty run, you know, because people in the comments suggested it. You know, like follow Pekko when he's actually in the top 3, not when he's shitting the fucking bed, you know? And I think like that's something that I dislike that a lot about.
Yeah.
Then there's the other end where they follow only the leader. I think what they should do is they should like follow the leading battle, but then if they follow the same guy for 3 laps, goddamn, follow someone else, you know? But it should be that if someone's having a good run, then you follow them, and it should have something to do to build a storyline, because qualifying is exciting. You know, I think qualifying is exciting, even though I think it could be more exciting if we'd done other ways. But you have to make it exciting. You have to understand it for it to be exciting, you know? And it takes a lot from the sort of media to do that. And I think reading the comments and we're going to follow this car and we're going to follow that car, that's the wrong way. But also it's the wrong way to only follow the number 1 or whatever it is.
Yeah, but you know, that takes extra effort to do that. So it's harder. You have to think about it. More work.
But so Lefty has had some issues with his internet, but I think he might be back. It's still unclear what's his situation.
Overall the coverage has been really good, I think. And the interviews are really good.
Yeah.
Guy doing the interviews is good. So,
but here's the thing again. It's 3 people. There's 2 comments and all that stuff. No way, like, that's going to happen in a lot of these other races to have that level. I think, and like it's still not enough in some ways. There was a funny comment. Can we pull that up?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw it.
Okay. This one?
Yeah, exactly.
There's a few good comments. I think this is something. Well, one guy said, this. Charlie Mack said optics of the car being slow and less grip are the result of normal off-road track. We was mostly speaking about the fact that, at least I was speaking of the fact that the cars look uncomfortable. They look unnatural on the track like this.
They look
back
shit.
in the day. They look bad. They don't look slow. They look bad, and that's the thing, that they don't look like a car that you go out and race with and push around the track, and so they look cars that have a specific quality, and all you're trying to do is put the car in a position where you can have that quality come out the car. And they twist in weird ways and they wobble and whatnot. Someone said that the raw speed open cell is bad. Could be, but like still point stands that I think it is a tough environment to make the cars look good. Finally, we have Keenan back. We do have a tiny bit of issues with our formatting about now, but we'll let Keenan work with that. I'm gonna take in a few more comments. This was the one I was looking for. Now we just have Keenan. Great radio, bro.
You know, Pekko and I we have to leave because we have a Mayako meeting now.
We can postpone the Mayako meeting a bit.
I still have one thing I want to say.
Yeah.
Thank God Left
Okay.
is muted. Good. His microphone doesn't
Yeah.
work. Probably on the left side too. Anyway, the track. Can I just say that the track is awesome because it's a 10 scale dirt track. The size, it's made for 10 scale. The lanes are made for 10 scale, right? Everything is the correct size for 10 scale off-road, and it's dirt. So can we please, and it's not some stupid glued dirt, okay? Relatively natural dirt. Can we please now stick to this? Can this be what 10 scale off-road is? That'd be amazing. What do you guys think? Many drivers said that they liked the track.
You mean the grip? Like, because I think the track was nice, but we was just discussing with Pekko before he came on that because the grip is so low, because the tires that they run and all of that, it doesn't really, like, the cars just. I don't think you can make a car look and feel nice on grip like this, especially two-wheel drive. Four-wheel drive is great.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. I don't know about the tires. Maybe they sucked. I don't know what they're running. If you run the wrong tire and foam, then yeah, it's going to suck. We all know that. But if you make the right tire choice for the track condition, you can make 10 scale cars work well and look good. But none of them actually did at this race. But I think that's more because the last years, everyone's been running on carpet and glued tracks and super smooth US clay tracks. So all the setup knowledge and development has gone towards that. And now there's a bit more of a normal off-road track and no one knows what to do, it seems. And I mean, it did not look like an A main watching the cars go around. There were sections where you saw, oh, that was nice by Broc or Karup, for example. But then like next couple of corners, they looked like someone just got a Traxxas ready to run, punching it around the parking lot. Like they looked shit. The cars looked shit. And it shouldn't be that way, really.
Hey, I agree with JQ on that. I hated it when it was damp and they looked like E-Buggies bouncing around Silver State. It sucked. So that's my thoughts on that. How much irreparable damage did you guys do while I was gone?
It was actually good. JQ was mostly quiet, so that's that's why there's no irreparable damage. We were having a bit of an argument about is the low grip good, low grip bad. I don't know. I just I think this level of grip is too low for two-wheel drive. For four-wheel drive, fine.
It's not too low. I disagree. I don't think the grip looked that low. I think it looked edgy, but it's
Yeah,
that can be the tire. Definitely can be the tire, but it's also the way the cars are now. And I would say that if you could like transport Cavalieri, Mayfield, Tebow, that generation's drivers from that time to this race with their equipment, I think it would look different. Like this would be an amazing track. Like if you go, like when was the Worlds in Finland, for example?
2011.
Yeah, so that kind of era. Those drivers, those cars, because rear motor back then still, wasn't it? I believe so.
Yes. The center
completely different
center
back
motors
then.
came in 2013. That's when Tebow won with the mid motor, but it was still high. Then 2016 onwards, only later low mid motors.
Yeah.
So that's actually the transition from high mid motor happened really fast to low mid motor.
Yeah, but I would argue that the cars right now are not developed and designed for carpet racing or high grip racing. They are not good for that. Okay, but the setups have been made to work for that. The cars are more like they are not really optimized, pun intended, for anything right now. Like a mid-motor two-wheel drive with the geometry they have, it's not made for carpet racing, but it's also not made for dirt racing. So what is it made for? Like nothing really. Four-wheel drives, they work better because they are four-wheel drive, but same. They aren't developed for carpet and neither for this. So it's like 10 scale right now, the cars are not really great anyway. I mean, honestly. And the reason why they struggled now was because the drivers and the teams are used to setting up the cars for super high grip. But that's all setup, not design, development, anything else. It's just the setup. So, yeah.
Here's Vasa, by the way.
I do agree with that the cars are not optimal, but I still can't get over the fact that even this rear motor, only dirt tracks, nothing else but dirt. Sure, this was over, what was it, almost 15 years ago now, but it doesn't look like, you know, these cars are comfortable to drive. More comfortable for sure, but it doesn't look like it's comfortable to drive in a lot of places. When it's high speed, when it's not sort of a stop and go corners, then the two-wheel drive is good because you have so much weight in your back and you can actually use that. But a lot of other stuff, it's really hard to race with them. I think you can make it better, but I do still think overall two-wheel drive has improved from the higher grip. Four-wheel drive, as I said many times, different case because they can handle lower grip and they are better and faster. They can handle better while maintaining the sort of characteristics when the grip goes down.
Yeah, I don't think rear motor would be better. I just think that a car different from what exists now is what's needed for a dirt track.
Yeah, for sure, but I don't know.
Can I say something, JQ?
Yeah, I mean, this is a great point. It's like people don't like it too, like this comment says.
So here's the thing, right? So we did the 10 scale Florida RC championships in Florida, right? Florida has a couple of really good outdoor 10 scale tracks. You have Newberry, you have the iconic Coral Springs, and those turnouts for those races were abysmal. You go to Beachline, indoor carpet, or you go to SNS, which is clay, but under a roof, 200 entries, where you couldn't even break 100 entries at the other races. So Nick brings up a good point. These tracks exist in the USA, but nobody races. It's just not popular, despite how many people wax lyrical about them. A lot of people get caught up in nostalgia. I'm not saying that you ain't wrong. I enjoyed watching this race, and I think the cars have to be designed for this, not just have a dirt car, but realistically, the future of RC is going to carpet and AstroTurf. It's more sustainable. It's better for new people to get into RC. And we're eventually going to start seeing tracks in the USA go to more of the European UK standard, which is basically semi-permanent tracks, which they're doing now, where some people have carpet tracks set up in halls and stuff like that, because having dirt and clay inside of a building, because people, honest to God in heaven, a lot of people want to race inside, like OCRC. I would say OCRC is a prime example. People would only race at OCRC and nowhere else. Why? Because it was comfortable. You had AC. You knew what worked. Slick tires worked forever. Stuff like that. Well, that's the issue with 10 scale. It's gotten to the point where it's like that. And people really like to go outside and do 8 scale. And also, you got to think in these places that have climates, like the Midwest or the North, where they can't race 8 scale outdoors or 10 scale outdoors. This is where 10 scale indoors has come into key. I am glad, and I'm glad to see a Worlds outdoors, and in Australia, from my conversation, this is the norm, having outdoor tracks. But right now, I would say in the 10 scale scene, an outdoor track is the exception, not the norm anymore, for popularity wise and getting people there. Imagine if you're a new driver, you got a 2-wheel drive buggy, and you go to a track like this, and you can't even fucking do the jump because you can't get no traction on because you're new, you don't know anything. The first thing you're gonna do is say, "Fuck this! I don't want to have nothing to do with this."
Yeah,
but listen, let me finish.
Oh, yeah, you'll be going on for 5 minutes.
Let me finish. But if you go carpet and you have traction and you can get around the track, you win. Like, people want instant gratification, JQ. This is the world we live in right now.
Yeah, but why the fuck should we cater to beginners or someone that doesn't have the enough interest to actually
because don't we want to grow RC?
That's hard. No, listen.
The thing of making RC is you got to make it more accessible and easier.
Okay, let's stop racing motocross and just race quads because there's 4 tires and you don't fall over in corners. Oh yeah, that's better. Why don't we just have a ESC with AI that drives the car on its own?
Because JQ.
We do what's best, and what we do now with these concrete and glued tracks and carpets, bullshit. Race touring car if you want that. If you want off-road, we race on dirt. Make cars that work for that, and that's it. Okay, I'm out. We have a Mayako meeting.
Hey, but that's the type of attitude that pushes people away from getting into RC. Think about it. There's so much more going out there competing for that person's attention. Dirt tracks, indoor dirt tracks, which a lot of people like to go, are not sustainable. Outdoor dirt tracks are not getting the numbers that are needed. There are pockets of people that get it, but in general, it's not popular. Nostalgia is what keeps dirt tracks alive. That's it. And a lot of people were very nostalgic about this Worlds, thinking they were going to get a Lermy old school track, and they didn't. But JQ isn't right about getting new people into RC. To get new people into RC, you have to change the way of thinking. If you continue the same way of thinking, we're gonna lose people.
It's a different conversation, I think. There is the argument that we should make tracks so that beginners can go around, which I think is fine. But I think the other argument, and the argument JQ is focusing, is what should the racing at the highest level be, and what is sort of
that's different.
What is the most entertaining, and what is the best for the sport, and what brings out the best for the sport. And I do think it's not the real off-road, at least not in 10 scale. In 8 scale, I think it is. In 4-wheel drive, I think it can be. But in 2-wheel drive, I just don't think that's where sort of the best racing is, and the best sort of highest level of performance comes out of. Even if we had that, it would not make a difference, because at the end of the day, this is funded by beginners who buy cars. And why would you put in money to develop a car for a track like this when you're not going to be able to sell a car like this?
Exactly.
And it's sort of the ideal. Obviously you'd want to have the ideal like rallying and Formula One. You want some ideals, but the reality is that there's some things that you have to sort of happen first to make you able to have this, and that's one of them. But even if we like did not think about that, I still think it's better to have not high grip but medium grip. I think it's better to have like medium grip. It promotes for better racing. That's just my opinion. I think, especially not like this. I think if you had the optimal tire for this track, it would be better. I think it would be better, but
yeah,
at least
So-
not with this tire. It's not.
I'm not disputing JQ's point about at a high level like this, we should have cars developed for this. Pekko looks bored as fuck. But my point is that we don't have cars developed for this, and the industry is going to a different route, right? And to develop a car specifically for this is not cost effective. But we also have to develop a mentality that we have to be helpful for people getting in. What is a driver going to be more interested in? Racing where he has traction. That's why you see these high grip tracks like Barcelos, like all these other 8-scale tracks, even some tracks in America now starting to put glued on because it's less maintenance, it's easy for people to get around, it's better on tires.
You know what?
Yeah, and I don't think it's easier. Like
Stock
at
racing,
the end of the day,
it's an entry-level class.
Not really. Not in America. It's not.
no, but I mean, everybody
be.
starts. Everybody starts from 21.5. You know,
It should be 21.5 should be the real stock class. And then 17.5 and 13.5 should be spec mod because it is not
but I don't.
easy.
Yeah, controlled motor classes are the beginner class. I don't care about the naming thing about this. But yeah, I don't want to get into this discussion because it's different. Because I honestly believe that it's better for RC.
We're not dumbing down. We're not dumbing down.
Yeah.
When I'm not saying dumb it down, I'm saying is that you got to look at things as more sustainable and what works and what doesn't work. And I'm looking at my point of view is that the industry and people themselves want to be indoors racing indoors, either whether it's clay in a climate controlled area or it's carpet or astroturf. You go to the Hobbyplex, which I just went to, which is an indoor clay track where people can go sit in AC, do their wrenching, and go race and come back and all that type of stuff. It's just outdoor RC, outdoor 10-scale RC is unfortunately not as popular as people remember it. It is pockets, but it's not as popular. And the goal should be as an industry to focus on how do we get new people to come into RC and stay in the RC. And that might cost us having some nostalgia about having some old school track that's full of holes. And I would say this is for 8-scale too.
Yeah,
I don't even think 10-scale is the thing you should be getting into if you're doing this. It should be 8-scale E-Buggy.
Yeah, but okay. I have one thought about this, and
we did go off on a tangent.
Really care. Yeah. People always say that low grip is better for racing. You get side-by-side racing, blah blah blah. It's more exciting. E-Buggy Worlds, the mains were slow grip. Would you say it was slow grip, Pekko? Was it high grip or
medium grip?
What?
E-Buggy Worlds in the main.
In the main, medium.
Yeah. Okay, but it wasn't high grip. And was those the fucking most boring mains ever? Yes. Okay. Here, low grip, real off-road, blah blah blah. Were the mains really? How many times were
they were better than they were better than E-Buggy Worlds?
Well, they were better, but like different class. But how many times were they actually cast side by side, making clean passes without a mistake? None. Because you can't go to the side of the other one. And then if you think about many other races that are on super high grip, like EOS and stuff, there's none. The issue, like, you can put on like really rough track that's low grip, it's dirt, whatever. That it doesn't give you better racing. What it gives you is maybe it gives you mistakes in some scenarios. Maybe it gives you a harder to drive track. Sometimes high grip is harder, sometimes low grip is harder, but it doesn't give you better racing. And I think that's something that people don't understand, because if you think about what's more exciting to watch, I think better racing is more exciting to watch. These people who say, "Oh, I don't care about high grip," it's an attitude issue. It's not that they watched the race and was like, "This is boring." They watched the race and was like, "Oh, this is fun," but there's not my American guy there, or there's not my carpet guy there when it's like a UK or European driver or watcher. And that's when they say, "Oh, he was much better and was this, blah, blah, blah." And
hey, everybody,
I'm kind of tired of this. Everybody who says that,
Max,
"Oh, I want the
stop
old
real
school
quick.
back," they're not even in fucking RC anymore.
Max, just stop for a second. We'll take some questions, but Pekko has to go.
Yeah, I need to go.
Has to go.
Thank you, Pekko, for your. I'll see you Saturday morning,
No
Pekko.
problem. Yeah, see you for
Thank you
forward.
for your time.
That will be interesting.
Max, are you joining? Max, we're not going anywhere. We're going to take some questions for a few minutes.
I will go to the Mayako meeting. So, see you guys.
Thank you, Pekko, for all your time. Maybe I'll be waving a European flag like this.
I hope so. I hope
on
so.
Monday.
Okay, see you guys.
I would have liked to hear
Thank you,
JQ's
Pekko.
X-ray story, but
He didn't sell the X-ray story?
no, he did. I don't know why, but apparently, from what they said, is X-ray called Joseph again. So they took an invisible speed meeting with JQ last night.
And they should.
That's the overnight speed they found.
It worked. It worked. All right, guys. I do apologize for my internet dropping down. I had this debate about this with the. I don't really want to get into the whole old school off-road versus that stuff again. I have my feelings on it. I think Max and I kind of see similar, but at the same time. Do you guys have any questions for Max and I before we wrap this up? Let's go have a look at our poll. Our poll was A1 incident between Broc and Karup, 124 votes. It was hack or racing incident. 84% say racing incident. 16% say hack. So the people have spoken.
I think that's I
think that's fair.
pretty clear. I have few things on the notes. Top guys into 3 different heats that they did at the E-Buggy Worlds, and we said that's dumb. And they didn't do it at this Worlds. They don't do it in 10 scale. And I think it was a lot better. I think it was significantly better this way, that the top guys are not in 3 different heats. And I think this is it's the clear thing that we found. Heat rotation.
You know what, Christoph Chardon? If you want your question read, you should put a super chat in there. Then we'll read it.
Yeah.
There we go. On any other YouTube feed. I'm not going back 1,000 questions and read that. You want your question specifically answered and you want me to go back and look for it? Give us a super chat. It helps us out as well. We're 1 away from our goal.
We are 1 away?
Yeah, 1 away from our super chat goal.
I think we've answered most of the questions, because I've been keeping track. When you was gone, I kept track of them. But the super chats are definitely easy to follow. So
there's like 200 people commenting in her. Obviously, we're not going to get every question.
Yeah.
Well, let's focus. Let's talk about 4-wheel drive coming up. If you want to,
No. I have a few more things. Things.
Okay. I'm sorry.
So the heat, the splitting into 3 heats, dumb. Now we proved it. It's dumb. It was much better this way. Then the spread, what's it fucking called? Heat rotations. You guys talked about this yesterday, but why? I don't understand why. Like,
you know why? Because I think it's for races like this that are where the track was so different when it was wet to drying out to dry. But so everybody, and I would say that in this case, it's somewhat worked out. Everybody got that type of. So race 15, for example, Q5 had a completely like a track that Dakota Fen kind of got each time. Does that make sense?
Not really, because like here's the thing.
Thank you, Pete Martinez. That's 2 super chats Pete Martinez has gave us, and we have reached our goal of 10. Thank you, Pete.
That's pretty
Greatly
good.
appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Yeah, JQ and Pekko had a Mayako meeting they had to go to. I was invited to go, but for some reason he wasn't interested in going. Maybe he knew I had this one. So, yeah, I totally disagree with the rotations in any way, because if you think about it, if you don't make it up there in seating, that's kind of on you, okay? And the point of it is that you sort the guys in seating to what looks to be close, and then you qualify from there up or down where you should be. And having this sort of reverse about this makes it so that the guys who are in the last heat, they once get to go first on the track, and the other times they're last on the track. So there's this one outlier out of the 5 rounds. And it's just like, you can get lucky, you can get unlucky. It's like you cannot really prepare for it in any way. And on top of this, it's not like the track deteriorates every round, which is the case in 8-scale off-road, for example, where the track used to really break down. There used to be bumps during the round coming up. So the only way to make it fair was to give everybody a chance to have basically a one-time better track. But even then, I think it's unfair, because what if you get the best track and you have a bad run, and then if you get a good run when the track is at the worst? So I think it's just much more simple. No rotation. If you see it bad, that's the own hill you got to climb. You made that hill yourself. Another thing, we definitely did not need 2 days of practice. These guys were comfortable. Maybe if you talk to X-Ray, they would disagree. But like anybody else, I don't think it would have changed one bit if we had one more day of practice at the top. Maybe Ronefalk would have got in there. Maybe Fend would have gotten in there. But that's it. No bump ups. Silly. We definitely should.
Yes.
Have bump
even
ups.
an LCQ. Can we have an LCQ?
Yeah.
Instead of a
Only
practice
LC. You don't
final,
need
can we have an LCQ?
Yeah.
How
Like,
about more
we're
people in the
so
main?
far
Is it
behind.
time to have?
Yeah.
Is it time to have 12 people in the main?
No, I don't think. We need.
Okay,
12,
I'll
but
take
I
the
think we could have
LCQ.
11. We could have
I'll do
11.
10 and then one extra. How that's because that's what we do at
Yeah.
INS. Can we just
Yeah.
make the B main the LCQ?
Yeah. Dude, like, I'm so infuriated that we don't have that. Like, we don't need a Christmas tree. We don't need all of that. And just the LCQ. I'd be happy with that, just that. Like, it's so
Do we
dumb.
need
It's
longer
like we're
finals?
so much behind. Well, I do have to say that that's one way to limit power, I think, because we had this discussion about stock and limiting power and whatnot. And back in the old good days when we had real off-road, the batteries did not last 5 minutes if you had maximum power. They lasted about 4.5, So you had to have the best battery packs to do that. Or you had to, maintain your pace a bit or control your pace a bit. Why can't we not have 10-minute mains in 10 scale? These two-wheel drive guys are running like 300 milliamp batteries, or 3,000 milliamp batteries, and the biggest ones out there are like 7,000 milliamp batteries, something like that, 6,500 shorties. So we could easily have 10-minute mains, no issue. It's just about, do we want it? And I don't think it's a bad idea, especially if you run all finals, A finals, the only ones who are 3-leg. It's a bit crazy that you race for 2 days and then you have 3 5-minute mains. I think at least go to 10. That's my opinion.
Well, dude, they're talking about They're talking about dropping down the well, they are. They're gonna AFRA's gonna drop the 10 minute to 9 for E-Buggy, and they want to drop it from 10 to 8. Yeah, I told you this. I heard the discussion going on while I was in Portugal. Yeah,
that's
at least. Hey, Les, you know what we could do? Let's make these guys drive for 8 minutes, right? 8 minutes might have seen Davey Bada and Broc Champlin have a good battle at the end. You know, with throw in. I would like to see that. I would like to see it. I definitely would like to see a bump up. Or I don't just make the B main the bump up. So you got one more chance. 10 in, 1 bumps up, because that's what basically how they do it at the INS. They do 2 bump ups on I can't remember which classes. And look, here's the other thing. Can we get announcing for the drivers and like just have a separate announcer there? Like these are things we need to have. Like these drivers need announcing. I like that they pump the announcing out to the from the stream out to the crowd and all that. That's fine. I'm fine with that. But the drivers need to have an announcer there because, and it can't be like Portugal. Like these are my pet peeves, and it's nothing to do with the track. It's to do with the damn just archaic rules from IFMAR, right? And this is the things that kind of need to change.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind the drivers not having announcing. The drivers don't really need it. All I want is for the crowd to have announcing it. Yeah, Almond did 10-minute main last night with on his Mini B. And here's one suggestion. Spec 1,800 milliamp battery, open motor. Otherwise good, but milliamps is not like a specific measure. It's something they test out at the factory, and they can lie about it if they want. So you could technically
just like
have
C.
like yeah, it's basically like C rating. It's just and yeah, this is why we have 5 minutes. It's because we have fucking 1,200 milliamp NiCad batteries. That's why it's 5 minutes only.
Yeah,
So,
it's time to change that rule. Time to change that rule. Yeah. Jason Renner wants 5 A finals.
Yeah, but I think that's not the way to go. I would rather have fewer number of finals with a longer time than more coming from. But I think it's better to. There has to be some pressure. You know, they like in RC we have this idea that we need to have like throwouts everywhere. Like Euros in 10 scale, they have 5 rounds of qualifying with 2 to count. So basically all you just do is go out there, try to make the fastest pace you can for 5 minutes, and if you crash, well, you still have 4 more rounds to go and you only need 2 of them to count. So yeah. And one thing is Pankar has 8-minute finals. So I wouldn't mind if they went to 8 minutes in 10 scale as well. I think that's one way to do it. In touring, you know what we would you know what's actually interesting? In touring cars, they over 5 minutes, they already overheat the tires. Okay. And their qualifiers are 5 minutes long. So in touring cars, what if you did 5-minute qualifiers, 10-minute mains? So they would have to kind of guess the tire. You would have 10-minute practice sessions for sure. So they could test out the tire performance. But that would kind of differentiate between qualifying and mains in touring cars. I think that would be interesting. 10 scale, I don't think we don't have an issue like that. But still, I think longer mains should be a thing. People here are saying in the comments that with a 5,600 milliamp battery, you could do 15-minute mains, and that's true. I think no issue whatsoever with a battery like that. You could do long mains. And even in E-Buggy, if you have a long pack battery, you can do easily 15, even 20. So yeah, I think that's the way we need to go. There's some people who are like, oh, I'm gonna burn my speedo. Well, fuck, turn down the power then. Like you need to be able to limit yourself in that.
People can vote. I just put it up there. What do you want? Longer triple A mains or 5 minute A mains? Vote in the YouTube chat. Max, let's switch gears. Let's look at 4-wheel drive. So going into 4-wheel drive on which technically will be tomorrow night. Do you expect X-ray? I expect Ronal. I expect there to be more X-rays there were none, but I expect there to be at least 2 X-rays in the A final. I think they found something. I talked to some people. They went terribly. Obviously, they went terribly wrong with setup. They can admit that. Charlie Mack's a good dude. He's my buddy. He is a very good dude. He is going to send me what's it called? What's those things called that people send when like a manifesto? He's going to send me a 5-page manifesto about this.
Charlie had a suggestion that I do think was a bit ridiculous. So he said the number of drivers in the main should be determined by the driver's stand and lap time. The lap time is okay, but the driver's stand is a silly one. Imagine in China you'd have fucking 35 guys in the main.
Yeah, that would be.
You remember that time they had the Worlds in China? They would have like 35 people.
And then I've seen a driver's stand dictate how. I have seen a driver's stand dictate how little drivers you can have, like Thunder Alley.
Yeah.
But let's get back to 4-wheel drive. So
that's why Charlie Mack is the first out the limo. I don't know what he's referring to.
I don't know what that means either. Charlie Mack's actually a RD, and he's the truckener. 4-wheel drive. What are you expecting out of 4-wheel drive coming up? Are they going to reverse the track? They're going to rework the jumps, and what do you? What is your little Finnish brain saying right now?
My Finnish brain is trying to sort of look at the track running in reverse. So I'm thinking
mine was too.
So end of the straight is a 180. You have a double. Oh, that's gonna be a quad into the corner, ain't it? It's gonna be a double and then a quad into the corner.
Maybe.
I'm pretty sure. And then tabletop, you go up the hill, you jump, it's a step up. Do we have a picture of the track somewhere? Can you dig up a picture of the track somewhere so we can take a look? We can go through that with the track so people can imagine it with me. Almond McCain says they are changing a section. I don't know. People in the comments have been talking about Schumacher riding the belt car. Really? Why? They just released the car. Pekko said the reason why they were still good with the belt was because of the front anti-block braking, whatever it's called, FAD or something. I think it's going to be good. I think X-Ray will be really strong. So here we have the track. Let's zoom in a bit, Keenan, so we can see the whole thing. So end of the straight. Yeah, it's going to be double. Yeah, you're going to be landing on that tabletop. And then, this section here. Can you zoom in a bit more? Can we go even deeper into the image so we can see the back section on the right? So you have a step up, 180. You go down, up the hill, and then you have this section the other way around. It's going to be a nice track. I think the back section is going to be a lot slower than it was in two-wheel drive. So you're not going to carry as much speed over the back section. More accelerations. And then, then you go to the... Yeah, go ahead.
Well, they're going to be jumping up her. If I was driving, I'd be jumping out there with the koalas. And all this section where they were kind of coming uphill, like they're going to go uphill her. Then they go. This is quite a long downhill they're going to have coming on her to this 180, and then I am actually getting excited for this.
Yeah, I think so too. I think I think the end of the straightaway is going to be a definite takeout zone. So I think that's going to be the most sort of interesting zone about the track switch. Everything else kind of works perfectly backwards. So going to the right side of the track a little bit, so we can see the end of the straight and the double section. So yeah, the first double, that's just gonna be the same one, and then the second one, you're gonna be jumping onto that tabletop, like someone in the comments said that you're jumping the tabletop. So
you know what's gonna happen? Cars are gonna be flying all over her.
Yeah, it's gonna be kind of like the at the Portugal, because you had a lot of the guys hitting the banner and then the straight, because you have this sort of a really open arc corner, and that sort of tightens in, so you approach it with high speed and you steer more and more and more, and then double jump onto the tabletop. You know what I think they might do is they might sort of break that tabletop up and make it a triple, so it'll be a double triple into the corner. I think that's what they might do, because people said they might make changes. Someone said the minor changes. I don't really see a section where you could switch up the layout, but they must be already starting racing today, right?
No, today is off day.
Do they have an off day?
Yeah.
So when is the mains?
So Saturday it starts. Saturday, Sunday, Monday. It's a holiday on Monday, apparently.
That's weird. Why would you have the mains on a Monday?
No, it'd be Sunday night for us.
Yeah, well, yeah, I guess.
So hold on. It's now. It's 1:45. So it's 3:40. It's 5:45 a.m. Friday. There, right now.
Okay.
Right. So by the time we'll be watching practice tomorrow night. No. Yeah, tomorrow night.
They have tomorrow night.
So it's Saturday, Sunday, Monday.
Okay, I'm confused that why would you have the race end on a Monday? I think that's
so. I get what Charlie Mack is saying now.
That's the silliest thing I've heard, but okay. I guess
so Charlie Mack says,
that's what we do.
Why would Max go to one extreme? Because Max always goes to the extreme. He tears the ass out of things, Charlie Mack. Obviously, you wouldn't put 35 people on the stand, but if the track can handle 18, the number would be like 15, 18 months. That's basically what Lance does too, because there's so many entries. He tries to get as many people up there and then decides that. Michael Gillette, you are way behind, buddy. We've gone past that. Roach RC. Most tracks can't handle 18 cars on track. I'd argue most race time events barely do. It is hectic. Very hectic.
The issue is lappers. The biggest issue. If you have 5-minute mains with 12 cars, should be fine. 15 cars, you basically have to catch. Like, you need to make the last car on the grid. Rewind. The gaps between the cars need to be less than 2 seconds for you not to get a lappers. So I think already 15, you would start to get lappers at the Worlds. And I think that's the issue. You really don't want to have lappers all the time. And when you have a 45-minute main or a 60-minute main, and the track's 30 seconds long, that these motor tracks are, it's just going to be, you'll be lapping everyone all the time, and it's be a carnage. So that's why I think there needs to be a limit on how many people is out there.
All right, well, let's get back to four-wheel drive. Who's your picks? Who you think's gonna win?
This is really difficult because it's like in two-wheel drive going in. Same
That's
thing.
hard too.
I don't know. Yeah, in two-wheel drive going in, I was like, okay, so Rivkin's the favorite to win it. I think that was my take on it. Karup and Orlowski will be strong, and then I thought Champlin will probably be in the main, but never expected him to be up that high. I thought Bada would be like seventh. He was second, so way off on that one. I thought Donnelly was in the main for sure. I thought Ronal would be like fighting in the top 3. He wasn't until Q5, obviously. So pretty much anything I expected in two-wheel drive did not come through. And I definitely did not expect Kerup to be so dominant in qualifying. And I definitely did not expect Champlin to win. So considering all those things happened, I'm kind of like anything can happen in four-wheel drive as well. So I wouldn't put anything out there. In four-wheel drive, the car matters less. That's for sure. The car matters much less. On track, on a grip like this, with all the modern platforms being extremely close to each other, the car matters much less. So I think X-Ray is going to be the strongest going in. Because even if you look at the warm-ups and stuff, Ari Bakla was like much closer in four-wheel drive. He was challenging Monday, but in two-wheel drive he was nowhere. So that leads me to believe that Fend is going to have a real shot. Same with Ronal. They will be up there in the top 5, at least at some point of it, and very possibly at the very end of the race. Zalewski is going to be a real contender to make the main. So I think it's very likely that there'll be 3 X-rays in the main. Then looking at Associated, I want to look at brand by brand. You think about X-ray. Do you think all of those 3 can make the main? What's your take on those 3?
I think I would take Schimmel out. I would put Schimmel. I think all 3 of them can make it.
Is Schimmel there?
I put Schimmel instead of Bartos. Yeah,
is Schimmel there?
Yeah, he's there.
Oh, I thought he wasn't there because he was nowhere to be seen in two-wheel drive, but I guess no.
Jesus, Max.
I swear. I'm sorry, but I thought he didn't go. Okay. Someone has a fun fact, but we'll go into that later. I'll try to remember that. So okay, you think Schimmel into the Bartos? That's not a bad pick, and it's very likely that all 4 could be in the main, considering how strong X-Ray. Because I don't think people understand that in Europe. I think 2022 was the first time when we did not have a real off-road track in Europe. Every other race in the Euros, we've had a real off-road, and every time X-Ray was really good. So they really got this type of track down.
Plus, they have a point to prove.
Plus, they have a point to prove.
They have a chip on their shoulder now. They're not going to do what they did in two-wheel drive.
Yeah.
They look confident
people
too.
People are having a discussion between B84 and B72. I don't think anybody is going to run the 72 or 74. I'm pretty sure every single AE guy is going to run 84. Spitting Bar says 84 is better than the X-Ray 4-wheel drive. No idea. I don't know. And looking at how they did at the Euros, definitely doesn't look to be the case. I think they are struggling with the 84. At least they was in the Euros. So I'm a bit more reserved in terms of X-Ray. I think Kara will be the strongest associated guy. Yona is going to be strong because he's been strong in four-wheel drive a lot of the times. Horn and Rivkin are going to be the strongest Americans in the AE
Really?
camp. Yeah.
You're dissing Bada already? Lost hope in Bada already?
Well, Bada said in his interview that he had 1 day of practice with his four-wheel drive.
And said it
if
was
you
dialed.
look at his, he said it was dialed, but Bada, like, if we look historically, Bada is a two-wheel drive guy. Like, if we really look at him, he's a two-wheel drive guy. So I don't think Bada is going to be okay. Like, this is, again, I could be totally wrong, but I don't think Bada is going to be in there. So there's right now we have 3 or 4 X-ray guys, and I've said Marcus, Jona, And then I said Aiden and Rivkin. And I don't think Boda is going to be there. I don't think Goki is strong enough to be there. So I'm going with 4 X-ray guys. Oh, AE guys.
What if Broc makes it?
Aiden. Well, he's sort of one of my dark horses. Yeah. But what do you think about Team AE? Who else would you have from there?
From where?
So I said Jona, Marcus, and then I said
Marcus, Rivkin,
and I said Rivkin and Aiden.
Horn, Bada. I don't have Yuna in there.
Okay.
Ooh,
so
Ongaro.
Fuck, I forgot. Okay, so Ongaro is definitely going to make the main. There's no question about it. If he doesn't,
I think he can win her on this side.
Yeah, I think so.
I think he can win.
Yeah, just put, like,
it's so many.
Like put like Rivkin setup, and then reduce the toe in, and then Ongaro is going to win. That's the way he drives.
AE's got so many good drivers, man.
I think I gotta put Ongaro in there. So yours basically we have 4 guys that we agree on. So we have Rivkin, Horn, Terap, and Ongaro. We agree on those 4, and then we disagree on Bada and Jona. Okay.
Yeah.
And then the last round is Schumacher. I think that's tough because I think both Kobovic, Orlowski, and Champlin are all going to be strong. I think Champlin is the weakest of the 3 in four-wheel drive. And the reason why is Kobovic is a four-wheel drive driver and Orlowski is a four-wheel drive driver. So, and neither of these 2 have ever been good in two-wheel drive when it's low grip. When Kobovic ran X-Ray or Yokomo, he never really was that good in two-wheel drive when he was running at low grip. And when you're looking at Orlowski, he's won 2 four-wheel drive European Championships, and he barely got his two-wheel drive in when it was a carpet race at the Euros. So definitely four-wheel drive guy for Orlowski. I think all of those three would be making the main. So there's definitely 1 guy or 2 guys we have mentioned that are not going to make it. So I don't know who because we mentioned 5 associated guys, both of us. You mentioned 4, too many. And then we have to pick the winners too.
Well, let's pick dark horses who we think can make it.
Yeah, let's do that first.
This is no brand. I'm gonna go Broc, Tommy Hall, Chase Lemieux.
Yeah.
I want to pick one more. We're gonna pick 4. Kato.
Yeah. Someone in the chat said Boda.
Oh shit, Donnelly. 5. Let's make it 5. Donnelly.
Yeah, I saw it too. Yeah. I think so too. I think Donnelly.
So many to pick from.
Donnelly, yeah. Okay, I gotta have to take Jona out of there. He's not gonna make it in this scenario.
Oh, so you have Donnelly getting in there.
I have to say I think Donnelly is gonna get in there.
But here's the thing.
I don't know.
I think that Broc is riding a serious wave of confidence right now.
Yeah, I think Rob is biased because I'm pretty sure they're friends with Broc, at least in some scenario. But I don't know. He says Broc is dangerous in four-wheel drive and he likes the new center drive shaft car instead of the belts. I don't know. The thing is, when you see Kobovic running a four-wheel drive car, when he's good, he is good. Mm-hmm. And same with Michael. Yeah, I don't know. It's tough.
It's hard, right?
Like,
it's hard.
We've named like 15 guys who should be making the main.
No, you can't talk shit about me. You can't talk shit
Yeah.
about me. You can't talk shit about me.
Okay, so now we need to. I said, okay, I'm gonna go in now to the winners because we kind of went through all the names in the list. Okay, Roach. Let's do this before. Roach chimes in. He said Broc before, and he says he's right. We don't have enough data of Roach if he does the same thing that Keenan does, but we'll believe in him on this one. And he said Broc again, and his dark horse is Bada. Not bad picks. This is definitely not the bad pick, because I think you could pick basically anyone from the top 10 and you'd be fine. So
I'm gonna. So you want to pick my win and a dark horse to win? That's what we're doing. I hope somebody's writing this down. I hope somebody's writing this down.
Oh, nobody's writing this down. So then we can all say that we won, or we picked right.
Are you joining us on Saturday?
I don't know.
Or maybe Monday.
I'll try to do the mains.
Yeah. You know what? I am going to do this. I'm going to do it.
You say you're picking Fend? You picking USA? Who are you picking?
Dakota Fend's gonna win.
He's gonna get his world's title.
Dark horse, who isn't really a dark horse. Ongaro.
Ongaro is your dark horse? Okay.
No. Hold on. I retract that. I'm going all USA.
Going all USA? Go top three. What's
Davey Bada. Dark horse to win.
Okay. And your top three?
Broc Champlin.
What happened to Fend?
I said Fend, Bada, Broc Champlin. I'm going all American top three.
Okay. All right. I like that. I don't think that's bad. So just to keep this idea about the Europe versus America rivalry, I gotta go the other way, dude. I just gotta do it. So this is something that nobody's gonna expect, and I think this is a bold pick because of all the issues. People say, "Oh, he's having a burnout. He's sucked at tool drive in the mains. Things are not going his way." Orlowski is gonna get a world title. Schumacher is gonna go 2 for 2. Ongaro, he's gonna finish second, and David Ronal will finish third.
I could see that happening.
Yeah.
I could see, and I could see it being reversed, because I'm going to change my dark horse from Ongaro, because I think he could win it too. I'm going to put my dark horse to win it all. Even though I would like Ronal to win it. Aiden Horn. I'm going all America.
Not bad.
All America
That's not
this
bad.
four-wheel drive.
Okay, so my dark horse, I think Fend. I think Fend is the one who I think can win it. Someone said, I'm pretty sure this guy's American, but
he's from Australia.
He's from Australia? Okay. So you think
he's on something that we can't talk about on YouTube?
Yeah.
You know what, Max? I could see, nobody knows that Eddie Congress. That's why I said it's a dark horse.
Yeah.
That's the point of a dark horse.
Yeah. Fend, Aiden and Fend are our dark horses. I went with the all European top 3. You went with the all American top 3. To be honest,
it could be mixed.
Any of that it could be anything. It could be anything with that. Only any of the drivers we said, Burak Kilic could finish fucking second. There's no way of guessing that. And anything. Okay, I'm gonna say this. This is a bold pick. Ronal Falk's gonna top seeding practice, and for Michael Orlowski to win, he has to start out front. So Michael Orlowski is gonna TQ. Ronal Falk top seeding practice. And okay, this is maybe a little bit of a mean one, But we had our friend in Tool Drive who seated 49th or something crazy and qualified in the B. And then we had some of these guys who were underperforming. So who is our
Not to make the final?
underperformer? Yeah, not to make the final or have just a terrible run altogether. Who's going to be one of those? You think?
That had a good run in two-wheel drive, or just period?
Just like drives under the expectations.
Orlowski.
That's not a bad one. That's not a bad one. That's not a bad one. Who would be one?
I think Orlowski's burnt out.
I think so too. I think that's true. But I think something's gonna click for him, just like it did at the 8-scale Worlds. I think that's why I think it's because I think it's all over the place. I think it's very unlikely that Orlowski is gonna win. But I'm a betting man, not I've learned the skill of, learned the love for the betting, not for the being right. I'd love to say Rivkin, but I really think he's gonna do well. Yeah, I think he's gonna do well.
I think so too.
I
think he could win it too. I think he could win it too. Yeah. He wants a 4-wheel drive world championship. He's another one that's gonna have a chip on his shoulder. Dude, we need 12 cars.
Yeah. Roach chimes in with the super chat and says,
"Thank you, Roach.
Tomorrow will underperform." Ongaro, my picks are really risky. I think Ronafog is the safest of my picks. I think Carup is my possible underperformer. Because Carup TQ tool drive, he was like, he's gonna win for sure. But I think he's gonna. I think if any one of these guys we talk about is gonna underperform, I think it's gonna be Carup. That's my guess, best guess. Yeah, that's that.
Man, it's very hard to pick.
It's incredibly hard. It's incredibly hard. But yeah, I picked David Ronafog top seed. And seeding picks.
Dude, we still have 141 people in her.
Yeah, we've been going on for 3 fucking hours.
Well, I knew when you came in here it was going to be long. Mind you, I was out for about 30 minutes. I don't know what type of irreparable damage you and JQ did, but I'm going to have to go back and look.
It wasn't bad. I think people can give their input on our Pekko and me, because JQ wasn't on for most of their time. So
JQ must not have been on his meds because he was in a salty mood.
He was. I would have loved to hear what he told X-Ray guys, because something definitely changed. I would have liked to know what kind of things he thinks that he could do to improve the tool drive. Because my take is the cars look wonky. I just how I feel.
Maybe he's under NDA.
Could be. Okay. Do we have questions that you guys want us to answer? Because we've been going for 3 hours. I kind of got to go to sleep soon.
Yeah, but do we
have something?
Show something. I wanted to show something. There is a couple of races going on that are not 10 scale this weekend, and they are Buggyland, which is kind of flew under the radar.
This weekend?
Yeah. See, you didn't even know.
Why would they hold it at the same time as the E-Buggy Worlds or the Electric Worlds?
Because who knows?
Like Ongaro's here.
I mean, Ongaro Ronafog is the only people really missing. Maybe Bloda.
You're right. Yeah, I guess you're right.
And no I'm surprised JQ and Pekko ain't going.
Yeah, I was wondering that too. But it's a weird time. Holding, yeah.
That's where the Euros are going to be next year. Should be good. Maybe I'll get to my first Euros.
Yeah. 6Q Lick says, that track looks like Barcelo's V2. Well, it's the same track build. That's why it looks similar. Same guy building the tracks. What are your top 3 four-wheel drive manufacturers for these A mains? Well, let's be honest. There are only 3. There's Mugen, I guess, is a manufacturer. TLR's best hope is Hunter King. And although I do dig the guy, there's no way he's making that A main. I heard there's a Corrali guy running at this race. But no, I don't know when that is.
You know who we completely forgot about a possible dark horse in four-wheel drive too? Lachlan Donnelly.
Well, we said him.
But to win.
But he's not gonna. No, he's not gonna win.
Watch him win. Watch him win.
Oh yeah, Kyosho has a new car as well.
Fumo Sato is driving it.
Yeah, he was B main.
He did.
He was B main, right? Yeah, in two-wheel drive.
What radio for the win?
I heard that there was some issue with Fend, but I think Ronal still on Fly Sky.
No,
are there other guys who's
Ronal left Fly Sky some time ago. The only person on Fly Sky is Fend. But I don't know if he's running it. Show us the Kyosho four-wheel drive, please. Have you seen a picture of it?
Oh,
if Max was at the Worlds, he probably would have got a picture of it.
You know, I would have pictures of all the new bits that X-Ray has gotten, the chassis bends and everything. I would have got the new pictures of the Schumacher car, new front end, whatever there is, and I would have definitely got new pictures of that. What was the Kyosho as well? So this is what we need, you know.
You know what?
Someone saying Finn blaming the radio for his lack of skill. Mayfield still flies guy, but he's not at this race. I heard this theory that people who run Coyote have issues with Fly Sky.
I heard that too.
Yeah, that it's a wild thing, but that's what I was told. I think, I think that's weird if that's the thing.
You know, we're not in Australia either. I wish I was. Yeah. I do wish I was at this Worlds. I do. I really do.
Yeah.
But you know what, Max? We're trying to go to the touring car Worlds in China.
Yes, and I will go by train.
Yeah, he's gonna leave 2 weeks before.
Yeah, let's fucking hope the war ends, so I don't have to actually worry about that. I could technically go through Turkey, but you have to go through Azerbaijan. That don't allow people to come in through the border, so you have to kind of sneak in. So I think Russia is my best bet, but I don't really want to go to Russia. They're not doing that well right now. They're in a war with Ukraine, or they went into war with Ukraine.
Oh my goodness! You know what? I actually have to do a recording session at 4:00, so I am going to call this. It's been a good live, except for my internet dropping. I do apologize for that. It did the same thing kind of lot. I think they're working on the lines somewhere along here. So it dropped for about 30 minutes, like I had half internet. Max, thank you for coming on. I have to go back and see what type of irreparable damage did you and JQ done, because Lord knows when you two get together, we're going to lose sponsors. That's for sure. Thank you for your time. It was good. I think everybody enjoyed it. Thank you all. Oh, hold on, our poll. Let's finish up. We fell short of our super chat goal. One left. Hold on, why didn't Roach's register?
We have 10.
No.
What was our goal?
No, it was 10. It was 10.
Oh, yeah, one of them is membership.
Oh, no, we got 12. We got 12. We got 12. Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for the super chats. We greatly appreciate it. It means a lot to we guys, and we appreciate you guys' support. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. I'm sure we missed something, and some people will message me, and you didn't talk about this, and you didn't say this, and no love for this. I'm like, hey, man, we got a million things going on during these lives, and when internet drops and things happen, we apologize. You know what, though? Congratulations, Broc Champlin. Congratulations. I wish I had an English flag. Schumacher. I have a European flag like this, too. So if Europe wins,
I'll
be flying that.
Okay, I'll say this. I'll say this. I got to give it to Americans. They are the dominant country when it comes to 10 scale, and they've been for a long time. As Europeans, we need to do something about it. We're getting there at times, but Americans still got under hold. So I'll give it to you guys. You are definitely the guys when it comes to 10 scale off-road, and you showed it again. So enjoy this while it lasts, because in full drive it's gonna be different. Europe is gonna come back strong.
There we go. Full confidence. You know what I hope for? I hope for A3s. That's what I hope for. An A3.
Yeah, and you know what? Michael Gillette has this. Do you think Wolf Drive will be more of awesome passes? Yes, I think so. And I have to think so, because if it doesn't, it's not good. I hope so more than I think so. But I do think four-wheel drive is much better to race on tracks like this. So let's hope.
Hey, hey guys, remember we have sponsors in the written description of this podcast. You guys showing them some love shows us some love. Also, thank you to all of them. They are J Concepts, High Tech, Sidewinder, Latara Racing, Invisible Speed, ML Toys, Side Piece Racing, Dollar Hobbies, Get Shit Done Coffee, Elite RC Productions, Mayako RC Project, Techno RC, Beach RC, Racecraft USA, Clinic RC, and Fly Sky. You guys, thank you. Show them some love. If you like what we're doing here, thank you for the super chats. Become a YouTube member, become a Patreon. That helps us all out a lot. And hopefully we'll have Max back for the finals. We are going. Hey, Sonny, how you doing, my friend? We will be back with a Saturday morning recap with Pekko, Sunday morning recap with Pekko, and then Monday morning recap with hopefully Max and Pekko. And thank you guys, man. We appreciate it, man. We had fun. We had fun. A lot of fun. And we appreciate you guys being in her for 3 hours and had a lot of people in her. Well, we didn't get 200. We came close. Maybe we'll get 200 on Saturday.
Pekko was right, though, that when I come on, it's going to be long.
Well, it took us 30 minutes just to get started. It took us 30 minutes to get started. Hey, thank you all, everybody. And we will see you on Saturday. Maybe Max will join us. But I do enjoy you having on her. You bring the JQ-esque type of vibe to it without being JQ.
I was thinking of what I would say, but I think it's one of those arrogant Max content. So I'll leave it out to you guys.
Pascahata time.
We gotta get one in. Yeah.
Gotta get a Pascahata in.
Yeah, gotta get a Pascahata in. Thank you guys. It was actually fun, and I do like, because I don't often get on these lives. I do like reading the comments, responding to some of that. It's interactive. And
yeah, it is.
The modern technology, no lag. I'm surprised. Just like if I say something, people Lefty and guest.
What's up, Blue Tack?
I don't know if this is a diss to me, or they actually don't know who I am.
Yeah, I'm sure Lutak knows who you are. He is an avid RC YouTuber consumer. All right, guys. Okay. See you guys all later. Have a good Thursday. And let's get ready for some practice tomorrow night if you're in the USA. And it's gonna be a good weekend of racing. And if you are racing this weekend, be safe, have fun. Good luck to everybody going to the Adrenaline Invitational. Good luck to everybody going to Buggy Limb. And remember, all of us need to be RC ambassadors. We'll see you all later. Max and Lefty, we're out.